check.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the David Tooker Stadium in the Natomas area of Sacramento, California. I'm Greg Cott alongside Jason Patterson. We're here to bring you the game of the Tigers of Inderkum versus Pleasant Grove High School, Pleasant Grove being the Eagles. So we just finished the anthem. We apologize for the delay. We're just getting set up here, but the coin toss has happened, and it looks like everybody's heading out to the field now. So, Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. It's a pretty nice night here in Natomas. This looks like it's going to be a nice, high-powered game between two top 100 teams in the state of California. Definitely, we got a lot of high people out here covering this game. Sac B, I think I heard, was covering this. A couple people covering, so obviously it should be a very interesting game tonight.
Lots of media here for sure. So, Inderkum football, they are currently ranked 92nd in the state, while Pleasant Grove is ranked 67th. So, this is going to be a matchup, and it's safe to say that this game, no matter the result, both teams can expect their rankings to change. So, looking at the previous schedule, as it looks like Inderkum is getting ready to kick off. Previously, Inderkum has 2 wins. They beat Spanish Springs 28-6, Clovis East 45-8, so they are 2-0 on the season. While Pleasant Grove is 2-1, but with wins against Rockland and Nevada Union and a loss of Lincoln High in Stockton. So both teams have done their traveling, and both teams have a chance to really keep their dominance so far this season. So back to receive for Pleasant Grove. They have 2 men back, including Luis Morago, as well as Olajuwon Siders. So, here's the kick up. The fingers are up, and this game is off. It's going to be a slow kick going over to Siders. Siders now going to run up the middle, finding a gap, and he's going to get taken down at the 35-yard line.
There's actually Cedric Thomas on the return there for the Pleasant Grove Eagles, number 15.
So thank you for that, Jason, as we're getting the rest off starting this broadcast.
Not bad field position for the Eagles here to start on their own 37-yard line here for their first drive of the game for the Eagles.
So 3 down linemen for the Tigers. Eagles coming out in a split back set. Looks like they're going to run over to the left, and that's going to be Isaiah Saunders. Looks like he's going to go for about a gain of 8.
So far, so good. After what looks to be a 7-yard pickup, it'll be 2nd and 3.
So actually, so it's going to be 2nd and 3 now after that gain of 7. And great defense by the Eagles as they seem to stop the rusher right in his tracks.
Yeah, that was great penetration by the Tigers' defensive line there. Inderkum obviously starting out with good defense, and they gave up a little 8-yard run, but they're going to try to hold here on 3rd down to get the Eagles off the field on a 3-and-out. So here's a run to the left by number 1, Isaiah Saunders, and it looks like he's very close to the first down for the Eagles. So let's see what they mark him.
It looks like the mark is just past the first down line. There seems to be a bit of a disagreement between the refs. However, the chains are moving. That's going to be a first down.
That's a nice run there by Isaiah Saunders on 3rd down to get the first down for the Eagles. Pleasant Grove trying to keep their drive alive here on the first drive of the night. So we do have DeAndre Terrell under center.
So, and it looks like that was a rush up the middle for part of number 43 on the roster. Misunderstanding on my part. We'll get that information to you just in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. So again, DeAndre Terrell under center. And it seems like they've been consistent in their formation until now as they have a strong I formation going over to the right. Let's see what they do with this. And it's actually going into motion to Cedric Thomas. And despite the trickery, no cigar for the Eagles.
Yeah, that was great penetration by the captain, Kevin Bluford, there for the Tigers. Again, another good defensive stop for the Tigers, trying to get their offense out on the field. Looking good, too. A couple good stops. They let one good run of 8 yards. Besides that, a couple good stops.
So Terrell's about to have the snap go. However, it looks like we have a stop of the clock here.
So we have a timeout.
And it's going to be a timeout from Pleasant Grove. So with this timeout, we have some information for you.
Do you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So after that timeout, there's currently 9:54 on the clock, where, for those of you just tuning in, we're at David Tooker Stadium, the home of the Tigers here in the Natomas area of Sacramento, California, where the Pleasant Grove Eagles have come into play, and they are quite a powerhouse, currently ranked 67th in the state of California. Let's see what they do. They're currently lined up on the hash mark near us, Pleasant Grove being in white. So, and it's actually going to be a Terrell on the quarterback keeper. Looks like they're giving him the first down. That's going to be a first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, that was a nice quarterback keeper there by Terrell. The Tigers are definitely going to have to try to stop that early if they don't want him to pick up a couple first downs throughout the game.
So, first down for the Eagles, who have been slowly moving up the field. Now, it seems like they have a consistent way of play, and the Eagles, although success at sometimes, don't seem to have a grasp on this offense just yet.
Yeah, the Eagles are constantly just driving the ball right now, and the Tigers are just keep getting backed up. They're looking for a stop. They've had a couple third downs, just haven't been able to make the third down stop.
So now with 3 backs in formation on first down, that's going to be a run up the middle for number 20, Harley Davis. Or pardon, my apologies, Colin Cerny. And so that's going to be a nice run of 4 yards. So, 9:22 on the clock, and it's going to be second and about 4, maybe 3. So here's Terrell under center, and he's going to go back to number 20, Colin Cerny. And Cerny looks like he got just enough for the first down. So again, on second or third down, it doesn't seem to matter. The Eagles really seem in control of this rushing game.
Yeah, they just keep putting the ball right down the middle and picking up first downs. Tigers are going to have to pick up their defense if they don't want to get ran on the whole game. Looks like they're not going to give them the first down on that. It's going to be third and short here for the Eagles. Actually, we're going to get a timeout and get a measurement.
As expected, because it looks rather close from here. So we'll just have a moment while the referees figure this out, and they're doing the measurement, and sure enough, it's going to be third down. So referees have a better look at it than we do.
So we have a 3rd and inches here for the Eagles on their first drive of the night. We have 8 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter here in Inderkum High School.
So, and that's going to be another run up the middle, and that, ladies and gentlemen, will be a first down.
That's Colin Cerny again on the run there for the Eagles.
So it seems that Colin Cerny has that job covered for the Eagles, as he seems to gain positive yardage every time he splits the tackles.
Yeah, that's why they put a C on his jersey. He's a captain there for the Eagles, and showing it here early in this game.
Now, DeAndre Terrell, the quarterback, listed at 5'7" and 160. Now, I assumed that it was just him being small. However, his offensive line is massive, and that's going to be Isaiah Saunders going up the middle and over to the left. Gain of about 2 or 3. Looking at this offensive line for the Eagles, I see a lot of big sizes here, such as 255 pounds, 275 pounds, even another 255, all of them starting.
That's a pretty big offensive line.
So it seems like they are aware that that is their advantage over the Tigers. And here they come to push again. This time he's going to drop out of pass, and he's going to go deep over to number 19, Wyatt Demps. Pass broken up on the play by Terrence White. Great defense on his part. And now it's going to be second down.
Yeah,
Third down.
It didn't look like the receiver could get his head around and locate the ball in time. By the time he located it, the cornerback had already knocked it out of the air. Good throw by the quarterback, gave his wide receiver the chance to go up and make the play, but it was just great defense by the Tigers.
So now 3rd and 7. This is going to be the longest third down that the Eagles have faced today. And this time they're going to drop back to pass because of the long looking and going, and he finds a target over the middle. That was Esley Simmons, number 3, and he couldn't quite get his grasp on it. It's going to be the first 4th down of the game.
Yeah, I think the quarterback could have made a better throw there. He had his receiver wide open. It looked like he had enough room to make the first down. Just tried to maybe lead him a little too much, threw the ball a little bit over his head, and an incomplete pass. And here's 4th down for the Eagles. Looks like they're keeping their offense on the field, though, so going for it early here in the first.
So going for it on 4th and 7, this seems like a risky play, especially as they've got big men lined up that we can see from here, but it's going to be another pass. Terrell dropping by, scrambling, going over to the top, and we've seen this before, this time no luck. And it's going to be Tigers ball. Rather a risky play call, but it seems like they had more faith in going for it on 4th down than a long kick or possibly a short punt, maybe in that zone of the field that we find in high school football.
Yeah, that was a good play by the cornerback there. Got up there, knocked the ball down, didn't try to do anything fancy, didn't try to pick the ball off, just knocked it down and got the ball in his offensive hand.
Terrence White again on the coverage. Seems like he has Keith Trigg's number over in the corner. We'll see how that matchup goes. And the Tigers are now going to come up the front, and they're going to push up the middle just as we had seen the Eagles do. This time only with a gain about 2.
So a lot of running, a couple of attempted passes by the Eagles, but so far just a lot of running by the Eagles. Let's see what the Tigers do to counteract their opponent's offense.
6:50 on the clock. Still 0-0 here at the home of the Tigers, David Tooker Stadium. And it's going to be motion. This is going to go to part of number 5, Eric Walters. And Eric Walters is going to make another short game. However, the Tigers are now faced with about a 3rd and 4, maybe a 3rd and 5.
Eric Walters on the carry. A 3-yard pickup. It looks like it'll be 3rd and 4.
So here come the Tigers. And so the Tigers now are going to be trying to go over the top. Their first pass of the game, so far unsuccessful.
That was Hardy Larry there on the pass, incomplete, intended for Hardy Larry. Number 12 had his receiver wide open. That's C.J. Spencer, the quarterback, had his receiver wide open across the middle, hit him right in the hands, and he was not able to make the catch.
So 4th and 3. After a tough possible 3 and out, we're going to see they're here in a punting formation now. The punter for the Tigers is going to be C.J. Spencer.
So he's the punter and the quarterback there for the Tigers.
So Spencer takes the low snap, is able to punt it back, and that's going to go toward the corner. Exciting punt bouncing back to the now 6-yard line. Probably the most exciting play that we've seen all night. 5:32 on the clock.
Yeah, that ball definitely took a Tiger bounce there. C.J. Spencer's quite happy with that punt for him. Puts his defense in a good position to get the ball back for himself. That's always a good thing when you're punting the ball kind of for yourself there.
You're doing good, Dwayne.
So here come the Eagles. The Eagles again, 2-1 on the season. Because of their loss to Lincoln High and Elk Grove. Lincoln High previously on the season had a loss to Elk Grove High, however, been on a winning streak since. Let's see how all of these teams play out. It's been a very competitive conference. This time it's going to be run up the middle for the Eagles. And looks like a run for no game.
Looks like a 2-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 8. Ball will be on the 8-yard line.
So that's actually going to be a gain of about 1.5, so it's going to be 2nd and 8. Terrell under center. It's going to be another run. And again, going back to number 20, Colin Cierney. So now, 3rd and 7, maybe. I'd say to be generous, maybe a 6.5, but we'll see how this pans out. Definitely tough field position for the Eagles here, but
we got just about 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
So it's actually going to be a roundabout over to number 15, Cedric Thomas.
That Tiger defense is just looking real good, quick to the ball on the runs. They got maybe one gain of 8 yards, but besides that, they haven't given up much there for the Inderkum Tigers. Just looking good on defense.
So Inderkum definitely showing great defense and forcing the Eagles punting unit to come out. Let's see if we see a punt as successful as the last one. Back to return for the Tigers is number 5, Eric Walters, listed as a running back, defensive back, and kick returner, which pretty much means he's fast. He's going to get the ball at his own 49, dropping back a bit, but he sees a lot of room upfield, 40-30. And he's going to get the ball all the way to the 26 or 27-yard line.
Yeah, what a good kick return there by Walters, giving his team good field position to start the second drive for the Tigers. We have 3.5 minutes left here to go in the first quarter. Tie game here, 0-0 between Inderkum Tigers and the Pleasant Grove Eagles. Let's see how C.J. Spiller comes out for a second drive. C.J. Spencer, sorry. Too close to the Buffalo Bills running back.
Definitely a mistake I was worried about making when reading through this list. And the whistle's going to be blown. This time the Tigers are going to take their first time out.
Well, since we have a break in the action, PlayOn Sports is also on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week. From your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. So we got a nice packed house here at David Tooker Stadium.
It's definitely a pretty stadium. I mean, over on the far right corner, actually, it looks like the Tigers have a giant inflatable tiger, which I typically don't see at a high school football game, but it was pretty exciting to see the band run out of that.
Yeah, they had the smoke going and everything. I'd love to go to high school here and get to run out of that tunnel. That makes you feel like you're a pro right away. Definitely an interesting before the game thing that they had going on, running out with the band and everything. It was pretty cool. I guess that's the perks you get for being a top 100 school in California.
Definitely. I could see a lot of support for this team, as they're definitely the underdogs here, but at this point they're in control of the game. So quarterback's going to drop back, and he's going to go over to the corner. And that was to number 3, who found himself in a goalie net. Into a soccer net.
That was actually number 5, Eric Walters, on the reception, or the attempted reception. The quarterback, C.J. Spencer, led his receiver well. The receiver had a step on the cornerback. The quarterback, C.J. Spencer, put the ball right in his receiver's hands. It actually was number 3, and we don't have a name for number 3 here on our roster. Hopefully before halftime we will get that for you guys.
So it looks like there's a good old high school jersey swap, and we apologize for that. We did the best we could on that, but again, we will have this information up in just a moment. So that's going to make it, it's listed as 1st and 10, however, it is now 2nd and 10, coming from the 28-yard line. Oh, there we go, and the card has been flipped. Now it seems like the Eagles are doing some work on the sideline here while the clock is stopped. Perhaps, I see, they made the decision to move the soccer goal, as it was a hazard, the wide receiver going into that situation. And that was kind of dangerous, as he rolled through a soccer net. Good place to get cleats stuck. And I see, so another group for the Tigers is actually going to move the soccer net on the other end of the field. 3:18 on the stopped clock. Looks like the referees are making this call. I like to see the Tigers being the home team and taking responsibility for this, moving both goals, I'd say, a good 10 to 15 yards away from the goalpost. So applause coming from the crowd. Good thought, good heads-up call by the referee. And again, with 3:18 on the clock, it's going to be 2nd and 10. So here's CJ Spencer. It's actually going to be a trickery play going to number 5 around the end, Eric Walters. Eric Walters is going to get up to the 12-yard line, and that's going to be another Tigers first down, and now really the Tigers have a chance to take control of this game.
Yeah, Eric Walters looks like he eats jet fuel for breakfast. That kid's just fast.
Eric Walters, again, listed as a running back, defensive back, and kick returner, 5'8", 165. Definitely, you can see the difference between when he's running laterally and when he turns the jets upfield. That's going to be fun to see how that goes into play for the rest of the game. So here comes Spencer. Spencer now in a shotgun formation. Spencer takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and he's going to throw over the middle. That's going to go to number 23, Hardy Larry. And that's going to be just short of the end zone, but possibly a first down. It could be first goal for the Tigers.
Yeah, that was the second time that Larry was targeted on a throw, and this time he made sure he brought that in. A very nice catch there on the goal line by Larry.
So here comes what looks like a bigger unit for the Tigers. Looks like they're going to try to smash this in just from 3 yards out.
Yeah, they just brought in the fullback and the tight end.
And so, as predicted, that's going to go to number 2, though, Marcus Gilbert. Marcus Gilbert going to be stopped just short of the end zone, 2nd and goal.
Yeah, they brought in Marcus Gilbert and number, let's see, what was the one? Number 42, it looked like. A couple big boys, a tight end and a fullback trying to punch in the ball here in the red zone.
Kevin Bluford being the tight end brought in as a fullback there. Let's see now with a single back formation, but calling motion, and it's going to go around to number 11, Terrence White, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers. So a beautiful play. Him going into motion from the outside. Tigers up 6-0 with 1:48 on the clock.
Very nice by the Tigers there to take advantage of the good field position that Walters had getting them on that run back from that punt, and they went ahead and punched it in for 6 points. Nice drive by the Tigers.
So here comes the extra point, and it's funny to see CJ Spencer, the quarterback, just take a few steps back and become the kicker. Kick is up, and definitely good. So 7-0 here for the Tigers. Tigers, again, the underdogs here, but they are not looking like it after great performance from their special teams, moving the battle over to their side of the field. And really an overall great showing on all sides of the ball for the Tigers.
Yeah, so we have 1 minute and 36 seconds to go in the first quarter with the Inderkum Tigers leading the Pleasant Grove Eagles 7-0 here at Inderkum High School in Sacramento, California. Also, don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOn Sports postgame show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. That's CJ Spencer, though, for the Tigers. He's multi-talented there. He's a kicker and a quarterback, 2 positions that you would not normally see one kid do both of. So he's got an arm and legs and feet. He's all around just solid body for that kid.
6'2", 190, a big kid for a quarterback as well. It seems like he is going to be the backbone of this offense, but only time will tell.
That gives them a lot of options for colleges if they're looking for a kid that can do quarterback and kicking. That's always a good sign.
It's definitely good to be multi-purpose when in such a competitive conference where there are a lot of scouts there to watch. It's good they get to see you do everything. So here's the kickoff. And it's going to be a swim kick down the middle, but it's going to go to, looks like number 5 for the Eagles.
That's a fumble.
Ian Broom, and he's going to fumble it. Tigers are saying they've got it. We need word from the referees, but these Tiger fans are completely convinced.
Yeah, that's number 50 for the Tigers that got it.
For a good reason.
It looks like 50 that got it.
As he got up with the football. And now, on the first drive of the game, it really looked like the Eagles were in control. However, after that fourth down failure, it's really interesting to see how the Tigers have used that to move themselves further downfield. Great special teams, great defense. Now they have the ball on the opposing 48. It's going to be a rugby pitch back from Spencer over to Josh Montez.
Yeah, that was a pretty good run there by Montez. He was at least 10 yards deep from the line of scrimmage, and he gained, looks like 6-7 yards. It's a good run by Montez.
Yeah, about 17 yards in total, as he was way behind the line of scrimmage, but definitely used his room well. So it's going to be 2nd and 3. Or, pardon, 4. So, yeah, that was a gain of 6. My apologies. So Spencer now going to fake the handoff, and he's going to go downfield back to Walters. Leads him a little bit too far. 3rd and 4.
Going for number 5, Ed Walters. Coming up 3rd and 2. Ball on the 41-yard.
So 54 seconds on the clock now, and after that incomplete pass, the clock is going to be stopped now. Again, it's the scoreboard is showing 3rd and 2. However, I'm going to say it's closer to 3rd and 4. Pardon my arrogance, but now the Tigers taking a lot of time to discuss this, but I do not see a play clock displayed anywhere. So more discussion now. It looks like the referees are signaling up to the booth here. Oh, I see. So it was a disagreement on the amount of time displayed. Now it's going to be 1:15 on the clock. And the play clock is going to get rolling. 3rd and 4 again. The Tigers in a tight formation. And it's going to be a throw from the outside. That's going to go to Terrence White. Terrence White breaking down the field all the way down to the 20. And more offensive production from the Tigers. You know, at this point, Jason, is it safe to say that maybe the Tigers are a little underrated going into this game?
I feel like the Tigers came into this game knowing what they had up against them, and they decided they were going to show it the world what they're all about. And they're doing good so far, just constantly driving the ball, just looking good on both sides of the ball. This should be an interesting game. Let's see how the Tigers keep it going throughout this game.
So Spencer now under center, and it's actually going to be a double handoff, ultimately going to Eric Walters around the end. And a gain of about 7.
That was a beautiful, beautiful cut move there by Walters to make that guy miss and gain an extra 3 to 4 yards. It's always good when you can make a player miss and gain extra yards. The yards after contact are always good stat for a running back to have or a wide receiver.
So it's now 2nd and about 2 or 3 yards. 24 seconds on the clock ticking down, but the Tigers look like they're going to take one more shot here before the end of the quarter. As the clock's ticking down, it's going to go up the middle, and that's probably going to be the last last play of the quarter. Tigers bring it to about the 9-yard line, but I think that's going to be a first down, 1st and goal for the Tigers, or 3, 2, and 1. Perhaps a 3rd and short. We'll find out in just a moment. That's the end of the first quarter. The Tigers are leading the Eagles 7-0. We're here at Inderkum High School against Pleasant Grove. It's going to be a close matchup, as it's shown already. 7-0 again.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for high school night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
So as we switch sides of the field here, it looks like it's going to be a good opportunity for the Tigers because, you know, the Eagles with their slow, steady run game, my logic tells me that if the Tigers get ahead early, the Eagles have struggled with their passing game. So maybe getting ahead early against such a run-heavy team could be extra to their advantage. especially if they make it 14-0 here at the start of the second quarter.
Yeah, the way their defense is looking, if they go up 14-0 right now, they're looking really pretty here for this game. The defense, I think, have given up maybe 1 or 2 first downs total in this game. A couple 3-and-outs. Just looking good on both sides of the ball are the Inderkum Tigers. Pleasant Grove Eagles are going to have to wake up if they don't want to go home with their second loss of this year.
Again, Inderkum currently 2-0, while the Pleasant Grove Eagles are 2-1. But as we mentioned, their one loss did come to a very good school down in Stockton. So we're getting to the second quarter here, and it looks like the Tigers are about ready to go. CJ Spencer, though, definitely so far he has been the success of the team, but it has a lot of skill positions around him. And that's going to be a run up the middle, but looks like Brandon Powell, the fullback, was just tripped up a bit. But that could have been the third down conversion. We're going to get a measurement, though.
Yeah, CJ Spencer is really just honing in on being a field general, like they call the quarterback position. He's just constantly moving his team. I'm surprised he's not listed here as a captain on this team. He's a junior, actually, it looks like, listed at 6'2", 190. Just real good for that young of a kid to just be controlling his team that well.
And so it's going to be an end around back to Eric Walters. Eric Walters going to the corner of the end zone. And he runs into the pylon, but just short. Second and goal, and very short. Looks like about a yard.
Yeah, I need to figure out what that kid eats for breakfast because I need to eat some of that. That kid is really, really quick.
You know, I'm going to be honest as a broadcaster here. Eric Walters listed at 5'8", 165. I don't know if he's quite 5'8", but I don't think it matters. And that's going to be a run up the middle for number 11, Terrence White. Terrence White with a great run. 13-0 with only 11:19 on the clock. Here comes the kicking unit.
Yeah, that was a good run by Terrence White, but I'm going to give it up to that offensive line. They gave him a big hole right up the middle, and he just pretty much walked right in for those 6 points. Good offensive drive again by the Tigers, just looking good on both sides of the ball, like I said earlier. And it's proven when you look up at the scoreboard, they're up 13-0 currently. If they can, if CJ Spencer can make this extra point, it'll be 14-0 for the Tigers.
So Mark Matthews now going to be holding the snap. And it looks like it's almost blocked by Pleasant Grove. However, that's going to go through. So with a quick start here, 11:19 to go in the second quarter, 14-0 for the Tigers. Tigers were the underdogs, but they're using their home field advantage. This crowd seems behind them. Overall, it looks like they're completely dominant in this game.
Yeah, just looking really good. They got the crowd behind it. They got their big tiger, blow-up tiger over in the corner cheering them on. They don't look like they want to go home with a loss here at home.
So as we hear the PA, and even through our headsets, he's been all day been strongly recommending the Tiger Dogs, which I gotta say sound rather tempting, perhaps at halftime. I gotta say, they sound good, and apparently they're world famous. So
maybe that's what Eric Walters is eating for breakfast, and I should go down there and try one because that kid just constantly moving. Maybe that's what he eats nothing but the famous Tiger Dogs, and that's why he's so quick.
Maybe Tiger Dogs are some of that Jordan Secret stuff as we set up here for the kickoff on the 40.
Nice Space Jam reference. So we got CJ Spencer kicking it off to the Eagles.
So a line of 5 and then 3 sets of 2 back to return for the Eagles. A very balanced formation. And Spencer just going to squib it, not even giving him a chance to return.
That's a fumble.
And that's a fumble. That is the second return, or pardon, the second turnover for the Eagles on a kickoff. The Tigers special teams is winning this game.
That was Jordan Thomas on the recovery for the Tigers there. I think that was designed there, Greg. He pooched it up in the air, and he looked like he just wanted to get a kid excited who doesn't normally receive a kick return to try to catch it. And they had a couple gunners down there that were quick enough to get on the guy, and he fumbled the ball, and they got right on top of it. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if that was designed play.
So the ball is just a hair short of the 30-yard line. Continued great field position by the Tigers, and they are not slowing up. This time going to be a run up the middle. A great blast coming from Josh Montez.
Yeah, that was a good run there. Nice hole up the middle, and they ran right through it.
Definitely a hole that we couldn't see from here. There seemed to be something that happened in that thicket, and it's kind of fun to see from the sideline where you see somebody go into a pile and then just come out the other side, kind of a Houdini move. 11:02 on the clock, currently in the second quarter. And it looks like finally the Tigers are going to get stopped in the backfield for just a short loss, second and about 11.
Yeah, that's the first time the Eagles had good penetration on defense. They're going to need a lot more of that. The Tigers, if they punch in another 7 here at 21-0, the Eagles just might be a little too overwhelmed. I don't know if they were expecting to come in and just have a blowout, but they're definitely not doing that here tonight. I mean, if I'm looking back at the schedules for Pleasant Grove, and they haven't had a blowout, so they need to focus on their defense.
Now here's the snap back, and it's going to go over the middle, but sail far above the head over partner number 23, Hardy Larry. He's been targeted a few times today, so that's going to make it third and long.
Yeah, there was pressure on Spencer there, and I think that was the key to that incomplete pass. The Eagles are going to have to do a lot more to keep Spencer pressured, and maybe he'll make a couple more bad throws like that. That's exactly what the Eagles need here in the red zone.
So 9:38 on the clock. As Spencer calls a motion over to the left, bringing power to the left side, but he's going to roll out to the right, throwing deep to his wide receiver.
That was a very nice pass and throw there by the Tigers. Again, we don't have number 3's name, so we apologize, but a good catch by the wide receiver. Hopefully by halftime we'll have his name for you guys at home. But again, a good throw by C.J. Spencer, and led his receiver perfectly, put it right in his receiver's hands, and a good throw, and they got a first and goal here for the Tigers.
So Spencer with a strong formation, going to go up the middle, and with a head of steam, Eric Walters scores the third touchdown for the Tigers. 9:19 on the clock. Tigers in control.
Yeah, that was another good run. He just kept his feet moving. You can hardly even see his feet moving from up here. They just going real fast. Eric Walters getting the ball in the end zone for the Tigers to go up 20-0 here in this first half. Just a devastating blow to the Eagles there. 21-0 in the first half. That no team wants to go down by 21 points in the first half.
So 9:19 on the clock, and again, here's a shot for point number 21. As we see a nice flag for Inderkum running past us. The kick is up, almost blocked again. And no good, just wide right. So it's going to be 20-0, and not too much of a difference between 20 and 21. However, the Pleasant Grove Eagles have proven to be able to score rather often. And here we come for another kickoff. Let's see what the Tigers have planned. 9:18 on the clock, 20-0 is the lead.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. So again, that's 20-0. The Inderkum Tigers leading the Pleasant Grove Eagles here in Inderkum High School with 9 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the first half. Just overall, just dominating game by the Tigers so far. I don't even know if Pleasant Grove has gotten more than 3 first downs. Just the defense for the Tigers looking real good, offense looking real good. Tigers are coming in here proving they're better than their 92 rank for the state of California.
So here comes the kickoff. Previously, we've seen a lot of scribs and trickery. However, this time it's going to be another short kick. It's going to be bounced, and I cannot believe it. The Tigers have gotten on another kickoff. Pleasant Grove, they don't seem to get that this ball is not going past the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was again, and we have an Eagle down, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't designed by the Tigers. They're taking advantage of their special team dominance so far in this first half. A couple, that's the third recovery they've gotten on a kick for the Tigers. You can't put up points if you can't get your offense on the field. Special teams for the Eagles are going to have to go into the locker room at halftime and figure out what they're going to do. Maybe just not touch the ball at all and just see what happens there. I mean, every time they go for the ball, the Tigers are all over them and just getting the ball back left and right.
However, that situation wasn't quite a fumble. So it looks like now the Tigers are going to come out one more time. 9:14 on the clock. It looks like they've had great field position. And like I said, it's rare to see a game where special teams is the reason for victory. And what even makes it stranger is, as we mentioned, C.J. Spencer is the quarterback and kicker. So great success on his part as he hands the ball up the middle. Again, Eric Walters way too quick for this Eagles defense, and it's been funny to watch. So, 2nd and 1 now. As it's really been amazing to see the Tigers come out and not only outplay the Eagles, but out-strategize them. But don't let Pleasant Grove fool you. They are a great football program. So here's a quick drop back, and that's going to go over to number 3, the wide receiver for the Tigers, rumbling and bumbling down at the 5-yard line. So 5-yard line, 1st and goal for the Tigers. This is going to be their 4th 1st and goal of the game. 8:32 on the clock. So, looks like the Tigers are going to be trying to sweep out to the left side. However, flags are flying everywhere. Let's wait to hear from the head referee. So, 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Actually, it's going to be now 2nd and goal from the 10 as the Tigers get called for a false start. And it's safe to say that's been their first mistake of the whole game.
Yeah, they've been looking good on both sides of the ball. First penalty, I think, for the Tigers. It's only 5 yards, so that's not too bad.
So Spencer going to drop back, and he's going to go to his favorite target of the day, Eric Walters. So that's going to make it 3rd and about 1.5 yards from over here. Is what it looks like from over here.
So we got a 2nd and goal from the 1.
So 2nd and goal now.
Sometimes that chain gang is not quite up on it.
Need to start keeping a tally over here as the wave from the crowd passes past us.
I missed it. I'm going to have to hit it the next time it comes around.
If you hear our headsets fly off, it's because we just had to participate in the wave. So, and it's going to be a run up the middle.
C.J. Spencer thinks it's a touchdown win.
Spencer did not even need to see the play. He knew it was in. He saw his blockers, and that's great faith from his quarterback. 26-0. Now, this is not at all the game we expected to see. 7:19 to go in the 2nd quarter. This is really an amazing showing by the Tigers. I haven't seen them fail yet, with the exception of a false start, which barely counts.
Yeah, false start and a missed extra point, and that's the end of the mistakes for the Tigers. Just looking great on both sides of the ball, trying to prove that they are way better than their 92 rank. We've got the Eagles, who came in at 67, and they just are not looking like they're 30 schools better than the Tigers.
Now, instead of Spencer out to kick, he's going to be lining up under center. Eric Walters in for the 2-point conversion, and that makes it 28-0 with 7:14 on the clock.
Yeah, that's the 747 jet himself, Eric Walters, right there. That kid wastes no time. He can get to L.A. in 2 hours. Don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So I see the special teams coach making a huddle over on the sideline. Now the Eagles are coming out in an identical formation.
Do you think we're going to see another pooch kick here, Greg, and see if they can't get another recovery?
Well, honestly, with a 28-0 lead in only the second quarter, they've got nothing to lose. And remember, they want to climb in rank, and beating a 67th ranked team while at 98, that's going to make you fly through the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, I don't see how they don't jump at least 20, 30 spots. I mean, you're just demolishing a team.
But again, Pleasant Grove ranked 67th for a reason.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. I'm kind of interested.
So it looks like the Eagles are playing a little bit deeper with some of their set, but Tigers don't seem to be letting up. I'm really interested to see. I haven't been this excited about special teams in quite a long time. I'm especially waiting to see their kicker/quarterback come out because that's a lot of room for trickery. It's going to be another squib kick. This time caught, and the Eagles look like they're actually going to get the ball. So after several minutes, 7:08 on the clock. 7:08 on the clock, as I just said, for the Eagles, as the clock actually ticks down a bit further to our right, but we'll get that corrected in just a moment.
I'll tell you in a minute.
So we apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently trying to get some roster information, but the big news here is that the Eagles are actually going to have the chance to run the ball here. Again, they are mostly a run offense, and as the clock ticks down, and that's going to be a sweep run to the outside. And now, when the Eagles have been an offense, they've been rather successful, getting about 3 to 6. Going to be about getting like a 6-yard carry, or pardon, 3 yards. Looking at the wrong side of the field, as I'm used to the Tigers being the one moving. My apologies. 6:27 now on the clock as it runs. So Terrell under center, but it's going to be a run up the middle. And that looks like it's going to be a first down for Isaiah Saunders. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have found out that Roberto Tamayo is actually going to be number 50, which we have had trouble finding. And more importantly, Tyler Dean. Tyler Dean is number 3. We'd like to thank the staff here for Inderkum, as they were really helpful. We definitely went on a wild goose chase to get that information. As I welcome back Jason Patterson. Thank you for that, Jason. That was some heads-up work.
Yeah, no problem. That was number 50, Roberto Tamayo, that got that recovery on the first kick return. And number 3, Tyler Dean, who's caught in a couple passes, and I believe he has a touchdown already. No, he was the guy that fell into the
Yeah, definitely. He's had a few close calls, and he's definitely en route to one.
Yeah, definitely.
So, after a false start penalty, that's going to make it 1st and 15 for the Eagles. Same formation as the Eagles, keeping consistent, staying calm. That's going to be a run over to the outside with Isaiah Saunders. However, he's stopped in the backfield, and it looks like the Tigers' defense is just as good as the rest of everything else that they have going. So, the scoreboard currently, as we kind of giggle over here, as it says, I was alarmed. 2nd and 52 is on the clock. However, 2nd and 15 is what it's going to actually be, as all of us are making sure we get things sorted out up here in the press booth. But Terrell under center, and he evades pressure, finds a gap, and he's going to run up himself. Terrell going past the 40, almost a first down. That looks like a run of almost 15. He placed the ball at the 15. Let's see if that was him giving himself a generous spot, and that looks like the case.
That was John Hutchinson in the backfield that made a block and sprung his quarterback there. Without Hutchinson making that block, that was going to be a sack for a loss of yards. Great block by the offensive lineman to get his quarterback out there, and they gained a couple yards. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and short now for the Eagles.
5:02 on the clock as it ticks down, because the Eagles really like to use up their clock despite being down 28-0. And, man, this Tigers defense is on top of their game. It's going to be 4th and short.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here again, Greg. They did it earlier in the game. Now down by so many points, there's no point to punt the ball. They need points before halftime.
Again, it's 4:40 on the clock, as the Eagles really running into early trouble.
I'm beginning to smell some of those famous Tiger dogs.
It looks like fans are making sure to beat the early rush to the snack bar. I know I'm curious. So, under center with a great run. Hand it back to Isaiah Saunders again. He's kind of been the workhorse for this team, and he's going to run for a big first down. They now have the ball at the 31-yard line. 4:16 on the clock.
Yeah, that was a big hold there by the offensive line for the Eagles, and Saunders just grabbed the ball and ran right through it to pick up the first down. Always good for the offensive line to create holes for the running back to run through. Running back got the ball, seen the hole, ran through it, picked up the first down. Good execution by the Eagles.
So Terrell under center, and he's going to stick with the run game as he passes back to Saunders again, breaking to the outside. And he looks to make sure to get out of bounds, stopping the clock at 3:53. Ball now looking like it's around the 18-yard line. 28-0 here. The Tigers with the lead over the visiting Pleasant Grove High Eagles. I mean, I'm rather impressed by now by the showing of the Tigers. But then again, when the Eagles have been in control of the clock, they've been in control of the game. So Terrell now going to hand it up the middle again. This time the Eagles are stopped at around the 10-yard line. That going to the halfback, sitting in the dot spot of the I formation. So that was a gain of 7, 2nd and 3 now. Rather impressive. I mean, the Eagles showing impressive ball work here, but again, they are in quite a deep hole. 3:25 to go in the second quarter. That's going to be a sweep to the outside for Isaiah Saunders again.
Like you were saying earlier, though, they are not ranked 67th for nothing. The Tigers need to keep their defense moving if they want to go home with this W. Can't let up just because you've got a 26-point lead. Definitely need to keep it going. They seem to. Let's see what they can do here on third down in the red zone. The Eagles on a very nice drive for the first time that they actually got a drive since the first one.
Now everybody who watches sports knows that miracles happen every Friday night across the nation, and that's why we broadcast it here for you. That's going to be another run up the middle for Saunders, who has been plowing away, this time for maybe a gain of about 3 or 4. And so that's going to be 4 yards down at the 5-yard line, 2nd and goal. A great showing from the Eagles here, really. I mean, it's just that they're so far behind because of their style of play. They're going to have trouble, but the whole second half is here waiting for them. 2:35 on the clock as they try to find their first score of the game.
Yeah, you can't even really blame the offense, though. It's been special teams that the Eagles have been a couple mistakes.
So Terrell's going to head a sweep over to Ian Broom. No pun intended.
Sweep to Broom. I like it.
So that's going to be stopped just short of the goal line, but it's going to be 3rd and short.
Looks like it's going to be 3rd and goal on the 1. Yeah, he's real close there to the end zone. It was a good run there by Broom. So we do have a 3rd and goal on, it looks like the 1 or 2 yard line.
We just hit the 2-minute warning of the first half, and they're going to try to plow it up the middle. Too many bodies from here, but we're seeing touchdown from both sides. And finally, the Pleasant Grove Eagles are on the board. They did it effectively, that's for sure. 1:55 to go on the clock.
That was Isaiah Saunders on the run for the touchdown for the Eagles. Good run, like I said, all offensive line work always needed when you're trying to get some runs in the red zone. Good hole for him to run through. Just kept his feet moving and got the touchdown for the Eagles.
Now that time he got behind Kyle Dixon, who is a 6'2", 255-pound junior. Not a guy I would want to block. Here comes the kicking unit, and Chad Phillips is going to be bringing the kick up, and it is blocked by the Tiger defense, or perhaps you could call them special teams here again. 1:54 on the clock, 28-6, Tigers lead.
Yeah, that was number 6, Jordan Thomas on the. It looks like he got a hand on that kick there to put it down. That was a very good penetration by the special teams unit for the Tigers to get that field or the extra point block. Just overall, just good plays so far by the Tigers. They have given up a touchdown, but just one touchdown. You can't shut out every team, especially a high-powered team like the Pleasant Grove Eagles. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So here comes the Eagles return team, which if I'm not mistaken, we have not seen them out on the field yet today. as the Eagles pardon elected to receive, and man, they picked their poison as their special teams unit has been having trouble. Again, minute 54 on the clock.
So it looks like we have Walters and White in the back to return the kick for the Tigers.
From what we've seen, I think that the Tigers would want to go to Walters. However, here's a taste of their medicine, as it's going to be a squib, but it bounces a little bit further than anticipated. Pardon, he's going to get ball 30. And actually, if I recall correctly, the Tigers did receive at the beginning of the game, so the Eagles are going to get it at the beginning of the second half. Minute 48 after that return, ball 31.
That was a nice tackle by Luis Morago for the Eagles. Just put his head down and made a nice tackle there on the sidelines. So here we go with C.J. Spencer getting back under center. See if he can't drive his team down to some more points here before halftime.
So the Tigers now with a minute 48 on the clock and 2 timeouts. Let's see what they can do with this. And it looks like that they're going to be going downfield with their run game. And this is a beautiful run coming from Marcus Gilbert. Not who we expected to come from, as Eric Walters was the one who's been doing all of the chugging from backfield. From the backfield, however, Marcus Gilbert again.
Yeah, that's bad news if your fullback can run that fast. Looks like all these kids on the Tigers, they eat that world-famous Tiger dog, and they're all pretty quick here.
So with the complex running game, here comes Spencer, but this time he's going to throw to the outside.
That's number 3, Tyler Dean on the reception.
Tyler Dean on the reception, just short of a first down. Sorry, we're feeling really proud that we got that name down. It's going to be 2nd and 1 now for the Tigers as the clock continues to run, a minute 19 now. They're hurrying up their offense just a bit, but they seem composed. They've got the plays figured out, though. Ball on the 35. Here comes the motion, but it's going to be, yes, indeed, it's going to be a run. Terrence White going around the outside, getting to the 20-yard line. This is complete dominance. A flag coming at the end of the play. We'll see if that's some sort of a tackle penalty, maybe even clipping. It's in that region. We're going to have to hear from the referee. 55 seconds on the clock. We're stopped because of the penalty. However, this penalty, depending on which direction goes, is going to be crucial for either team.
That was a beautiful cut move there by Terrence White to get into the secondary. He was getting chased down by the defense. It looked like he could possibly be stopped for a no gain or loss of yards. Made a nice move upfield and ended up getting a first down and some more. Let's see what happens. They are moving closer to the end zone, so this penalty will go on Pleasant Grove. Let's see what the ref says. We have a personal foul on, we have a face mask personal foul on the Eagles. So that will be a 15-yard penalty tacked on to an already nice run by Terrence White. And the Tigers are in the red zone, seeing if they can't put up more points here late in the second half.
Now what it looks like here, actually, the Eagles now look like they had enough field position to only get half the distance, so not getting the full 15 yards, but definitely what I saw from the start. So ball from the 9-yard line, 55 seconds to go on the clock, and like I said, the Tigers still have 2 timeouts.
Yeah, the Tigers just looking great on both sides of the ball. They've given up 1 touchdown on defense. Besides that, of a couple 3-and-outs. Just looking real good. Be looking even more better if they could put up points here before halftime. It's always good to go into the locker room with a 3-point or 3-score lead.
And they're at a 3-score lead, looking for 4. Clock's ticking down now from 45, and Spencer's actually going to get wrapped up. That is some great defense coming from Pleasant Grove. Sack is probably going to be credited to Tyree Hansen. Listed as a linebacker, and that's going to be a timeout for the Tigers.
Yeah, that was good penetration by the Eagles. The linebacker got in there on the blitz and took the quarterback down for a nice loss. They're just going to be second to go on the 17. Looking good, and we have a timeout by the Tigers.
So 34.7 on the clock. Crucial play for the Eagles, probably their most impressive all day, as it really took the Tigers from striking distance to a long shot.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So as the Tigers are huddling up, seeing what they're going to do with this new option.
Ball on the 18, second and goal from the 18.
And now I noticed their wideout looked comfortable on his route, and Spencer's going to be throwing, rolling, tucks underneath to number 11, Terrence White.
That was actually a good play by Spencer. He kept his feet moving, trying to make something happen. Got the ball to his check down, didn't take the sack. I mean, he could have obviously hoped for more yards there, but overall I think a good play by Spencer. Didn't take the sack, didn't throw the ball away. Found his receiver eventually to gain a couple of yards. We do have a timeout by the Tigers.
21.8 on the clock as we go into this timeout, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
So again, 21.8 on the clock. The Tigers leading 28-6 as they're showing a surprising amount of dominance. But I think the only people who are not at all surprised are this home crowd. They showed up in full force and great confidence. I mean, a loud band, even a great cheerleading section. This whole organization seems really well organized, and their results are showing it. So 3rd and goal from the 16 it's going to be. A little bit longer than 16, actually. So let's see what the Tigers are going to try to do. And so the sign's showing 3rd and goal, and I believe that is correct.
I just want to run out of the blowout Tiger thing over there. It's a cool tunnel they have over there.
So definitely something that we would look forward to in high school, or heck, even now. So Spencer's going to roll out to his left, and he's going to throw to the corner. And that was caught. That was a beautiful catch. 1 foot down, Marcus Gilbert. And the Tigers, 13.6 on the clock, have now made it 34-6.
That actually, I couldn't tell, but it looks like it's number 5, Eric Walters, that made the catch.
Yeah, I definitely saw.
But whoever made the catch is down right now. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, I saw Gilbert make the catch, I believe, but I saw Walters running away at celebration. So,
well, somebody's down on the field for the Tigers. It was number 5 down on his knee, but he got back up on his own. Didn't need any help. He's back in the huddle.
So it looks like no problem. Again, 34-6 as Spencer comes out for the kick.
Another good touchdown by the Tigers. I mean, Tigers are just looking good. I don't even know if I think we've had one punt by the Tigers so far this game, and it was a great punt by Spencer.
Exactly. It was a punt that went way in past the 10-yard line. However, that extra point, no good. So 34-6, that extra point. Last time they missed one, they just went for 2 after that and didn't seem to have any trouble. But 13.6 on the clock, 34-6 is the score. Eagles did not seem, did not seem ready for the Tigers here. However, let's see how this turns out. Now, the Eagles coming out in their same formation here.
Just so we are clear, ladies and gentlemen, that was number 5, Eric Walters, who made the touchdown. He was down on the ground, but he seems to be walking just a little bit. Maybe he's going to get checked out by one of his trainers real quick.
Looks like he's limping a bit, protecting his right foot.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. They need that 747 jet on their side. Kid's very quick. There's been a big difference in this game already.
Looks like it could be a calf problem as he has his right calf wrapped up already. Perhaps it's a pre-existing injury. Hasn't slowed him up for the rest of the game, though, but he held on to the ball. You got to hand it to him.
Yeah, that was a great catch there by Walters. He got up in the air, got the ball at its highest point, got his feet down for a touchdown for the Tigers. It was a great play. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that on YouTube as a highlight.
So the band's kicking up for the kickoff. And here's the boot. It is short and bouncy and awkward. And that's going to be picked up by number 5 of the Eagles, Ian Broom. And he's going to get to the 47-yard line. Good run on his part as he made sure he had control of the ball before moving his feet, but there's only 5.5 to go on the clock here toward the end of the second half.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to have to go down and get a touchdown if they don't want to go into the locker room with such a big deficit here at halftime. It's time to prove their number 67 rank in California and see what they can do here on offense. So far, not showing much. I mean, they have gone down and got one touchdown on a fairly good drive. But besides that one drive, it's been all the Tigers' defense.
So here come the Eagles, and they're going to drop back to throw. But he's going to use his check just to number 20. Colin Cerny. And that's actually going to end the half. So 34-6 is the lead for the Tigers. They're showing complete dominance on all sides of the ball, but we still have a second half to go here.
Yeah, I think if the Eagles are going to want to come back, they're going to have to stop this explosive Tiger offense and work on their special teams. So far, the last two kicks, they've done all right.
So as the cheerleaders go out to the middle of the field, we're actually going to step aside for a bit at halftime. We'll be back with more second half action as well as some analysis of the first half just before that. You are watching PlayOnSports.com's YouTube broadcast of the Inderkum High School Tigers going against the Pleasant Grove Eagles here in Sacramento, California. We'll be back just after this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from Dion.
He took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just...
Holy cow!
Can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons wins. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion, pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take, and there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac-Joaquin section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
Jacqueline Williamson. Her serve is over. Dug by Holt. Giblin going back to Holt near side. Cut shot. Kept alive. Back in one by Cathedral. And this one is out as Castanon Hill sends it wide. And the Cathedral Dons have won the title 16-14 in Game 5.
Thomas with the ball, swings it out to Norris. Cameron Taylor tried to block that one away. Norris with a strong take, blocked by B.J. Anya. Huge block. Robinson leading the break the other way, gets it to Grant. Slam dunk Jeremy Grant off the feed from James Robinson. What a play by the Stag.
Runner at third is Chavez. 8-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th. The 1-2. Popped in the air. This should do it. Cortopassi says it's mine. Now he's fading on it. And he can't make the catch, but Gaff comes in from center field and does. Congratulations to the St. Mary's Rams, a three-peat. They win it 8-2 against Franklin to take the series 2-0.
but this is time to run an offensive set that you've done all through the season in practice.
Yeah, and you also, you get it to your hottest player right now, just like they're getting it to Eichhorst right here. He's going to try to create some space, find somebody on the backside that's open.
Eichhorst flush out to the right. Oh, breaks free of a player. Eichhorst on his own. Shoots and scores. Bounces a shot home. Kuz can't handle the shot. Eichhorst takes off the shirt and the helmet. And how about that? Alex called it. Eichhorst, after sustaining the injury in the third quarter of play, has scored the game winner with 22 seconds gone in the overtime period. Dogpile on the field. Marin Academy take it. A fantastic finish to this game, and well, I hope his other ankle isn't hurting after this.
Hancock to his immediate left. 2 receivers far side, 1 near side. Hancock on a counter, right side. He's inside the 10. He bounces off a tackler at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Helix! And behind Hancock, the field is littered with white jerseys on the turf.
Wow. Hancock not to be outdone by his fellow playmakers on offense. Put on a show on that short 12-yard touchdown run. Looked like he was down after 3 yards, just threw a defender on the ground.
As sophomore Chris Carter sits under center in their tight wing formation. Lycos in motion. Second back through is Freeman. Freeman just knocking people over. Look at him run. Breaks through. 4 tackles. And now it's just a foot race to the end zone. And Freeman's going to go the distance. Touchdown Imperial on the first play of the second half. 2nd and 6 for Imperial from their own 47. They're going to give it to Freeman again off the left side. And Freeman gets by one wave and down across the 40-yard line. Still on his feet. Look at him run down to the 20-yard line. One man to beat. Gets by him. Touchdown Freeman. How did he do that? Holy cow. 64-yard touchdown run. His 5th of the game. Royce Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see the top rushing, and as I look over to our partners at KXO Radio, the top rusher in the San Diego section for the next 2 years.
That's just amazing. That is just amazing. They hit him in the backfield. They hit him at the line of scrimmage. They hit him a couple yards downfield. They hit him again near the goal line.
Keep those Lowell fans quiet over there.
Lum sets it up to Pang. Long, it's out. Low, a magnificent 7 titles in the San Francisco section in dramatic style as they pull out a fantastic victory over a spirited Galileo Lions team. They win the 4th game, 31-29, and they take the 2012 Academic Athletic Association San Francisco section title.
Officials say no 5-second count can be started. Nobody was close enough defensively. Lyle's going to swing left side. Robinson. Here is a backdoor lob for Grant. They've been wanting that all game. And they got it, 50-42. They lulled you to sleep, and then they hit Grant on the back door.
They trail by 2. McMorrow's kick is on the way, and it is good. St. Augustine has their first lead of the game, 21-20, with 25 seconds to play. The senior McMorrow with a huge kick, not the longest of his career, but the biggest of his career. St. Augustine leads it 21-20.
Already lining up. They won't even have to run that one more play. They just acquiesce.
Why bother?
So there you have it. Your 5-time defending Division III champions, the Cathedral Catholic Dons, running up, over, and through Olympian 41-0 here from Qualcomm Stadium.
Patriots down 21-17. Great ball game here. Dillon taking it, looking right, throwing it up top to Gaines. It will be caught by Gaines. Oh, my goodness. It looked like the defender had it, but Gaines stole it away from him. Jason Gaines, are you kidding me, my friend? Oh, boy. It looked like for sure we had an interception by the Tories, but as they both were going to the ground, Jason Gaines just wrestled it away from him. Shane Dillon to Jason Gaines on an 11-yard play.
Fanchon in the game, now out, replaced by Hayashi, the libero for defense. Wenzel's serve, championship point, ball up in the air. Hayashi's going to bring it back. Richards, deep one, over and 3. Free opportunity, look for Wallace, no, they go Becker. Hayashi, then tap over and 2 by Hollingsworth. Now look for Wallace for the match!
Kathleen Wallace. No better way for the Bulls to finish it than giving it to their senior leader.
25-12, 25-15, and with 8 straight points to close out their 3rd straight D5 championship on a kill by Kathleen Wallace. 25-21 in Game 3. Branson has won the D5 title.
In the backfield, it's Hernandez and Northcutt. Set to throw is Thomas. Has time. Goes for the home run. It's intercepted in the end zone. Seemed like they tried to go to Martin, and Martin slipped. Stockton, Hilmar, and Escalon. That's going to do it, folks. Victory formation, take a kneel. The clock comes out. The clock will tick down. The players jumping up at midfield. I think I see a Gatorade. Did we have a Gatorade shower?
We most certainly did. Casey Taylor getting the shower there. Very much deserved.
Down to 12.
Great tackle there by Ronald Williams there to make the stop for Helix.
And the Helix fans are starting to celebrate here. This is going to be the final play. 5 seconds. Pow will hand it off. And they're going to get in the end zone. Touchdown. That's Keegan who gets in, but that's going to be the end of the ball game. 44-6 will be the score. So Oceanside scores on the final play of the ball game.
And gets a consolation prize just to make this is kind of say that, hey, we didn't get shut out.
So 44-6 is your score. And Helix is celebrating on the sideline. Oceanside streak of 7 straight championship games has been ended.
2 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. Clock rolling. 3rd down and 15 for the Patriots. Dillon, he's got time, steps up. He's going to chuck it deep. He's got a man open. Seth Collins with a diving catch. He hauls it in at the 25. Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you right there. Dillon goes to show why he is a Division I prospect, as he's able to step up, elude the pressure, see Collins down the field, and make the connection. As I'll tell you right now, there has not been a bigger catch for Seth Collins this entire season.
Fans nervously wait on the far side. Trips right. Vernon, the lone receiver to the left. Troy Zine rolls right. Here we go. And he's going to be... Oh, he gets away, but can't get away from the second slew. Vacaville takes over on downs, and the crowd erupts. So does the sideline. Got to watch it. Got to watch the sideline here.
Yeah,
Remember, they were up 35-26. 2 unanswered touchdowns. That's going to do it, folks. Your 2011 Division II Sac-Joaquin Section champions, the Vacaville Bulldogs. They win 39-35 in a classic.
Although they have no timeouts, they'll get the ball on the sideline, try to set something up. They can get a couple dribbles and a shot.
I tell you what, that was a gutsy call there by Coach Aguiar. Oh, what a shot! I tell you what, Javier Kirksey, from well beyond the three-point mark, takes the inbound pass, throws it up off the glass, and nails a three. And you've got the finish to this Cinderella story as the Ridgeview Wolfpack win the Division III boys title 43-40. And what
Caroline Martin to serve. Is 3rd time the charm for Palo Alto. Martin over, dug by Irvin. Lauren, backside, Bedard Ghani, long, and that's the ball game. And Palo Alto comes from behind. They were down 13-8 in Game 5. They win it 17-15.
Koenig, who will continue to play baseball at the next level. He is going to Central Arizona. About 45 minutes outside Phoenix and Coolidge.
This pitch is hit in the 5-5 hole. Nice grab and throw over to first base. Ori Wofford. Full extension dive to his right and gets Tillinghast by a step.
3-point game.
Down to 5 seconds. Wilson from straight away fires a three. Go! And that will send it to overtime as Wilson drains the three at the buzzer.
Straight on look, and he got it for that big bucket.
Jones, long outlet. January's got an opening. January with the left hand.
Can't leave him in the lane like that to the basket. He'll put it right through it. And that's what he did that time with the strong dunk.
He brought the house down with that one.
Now 2nd and 13 for the Dons from their own 24-yard line. Bogart's 3-step drop now flushed out. He's rolling to his right. Looking downfield, lofts it to Hines. Hines with an amazing grab. Did he get that in bounds? He's still in bounds, running by himself to the 10-5 touchdown. Wow. Unbelievable catch. An Olympian defense thought he was out of bounds, and they just stopped playing. And Hines, with a headsy play, just sprints the other 30 yards into the end zone. And the Dons now extend their lead, 13 to nothing.
Jumper right at the elbow for Peters.
White with
Here
the
we
dish
go.
to Gordon. 5 slamma-jamma.
I don't even think Valley Center will have to snap the football. They will not. Santana puts on a rush at the end. They travel 91 yards to make it a one-possession game. They try the onside kick. They almost executed it. But a Gatorade bath for the offensive coordinator for Valley Center. Congratulations to Coach Gilster.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The clock's ticking down. 2:50 to go before we have the action. The high knees have started. Everybody's getting their warm-ups going. Greg Cott alongside Jason Patterson. So the score is 34-6 after the end of the first half. And Jason, dominance on all sides really by the Tigers. However, the tale of the game so far has been their special teams.
Yeah, they've did a couple of squib kicks. The Eagles just did not look prepared for it, and they were able to jump on the ball. It looked like 3 times on a couple kicks. Definitely helped their offense to gain this lead that they've got here and coming into the second half. Just overall dominance by the Tigers, looking good on offense, defense, and special teams. The Eagles look like they were not prepared for what the Tigers was going to bring to tonight's game. Hopefully they got their stuff together in the locker room and they could come out and put some points up, because the Tigers, if they just continue the game the way that it has been going, the Tigers will be leaving here with the W.
So, again, 34-6, and like you said, 3 different, I'd say, failed possessions by the Eagles on kickoffs, and the Tigers turned all 3 of those into touchdowns, and that's why there's such a drastic score discrepancy. And really, when the Eagles, we've been saying this during the broadcast, when their offense has been on the field, they've been rather successful, particularly in the run game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we look back, I think they might have only had 2 to 3 drives in that first half just because of all the failed special teams. But they got, I think the first drive, they got a couple first downs, and then after that, when they got the ball, they went and got their 7 points. I believe it was 7. And, but besides that, the Tigers, their defense looked good. Their offense looked good. I mean, I can't stress enough how good the Tigers do look on all sides of the ball. The Eagles definitely going to have to try to match what the Tigers are doing and then go beyond it to gain their deficit that they fell behind by.
Now, before the end of the half, while he caught a touchdown, Eric Walters seemed to be having trouble with his right leg, but he's currently walking out in the field. I saw him talking to the coach. His coach is probably just double-checking that he's okay, and he seems completely confident wanting to stay in this game.
That's a good sign for the Tigers. Walters has been good on offense with a couple good catches, a solid catch in the end zone, got up, got the ball in the air, got his feet down, a couple good kick returns by him as well. Just, it looks like he's a big a needed weapon for the offense of the Tigers.
As C.J. Spencer is warming up on the sideline, he is throwing his passes to none other Eric Walters, so it seems like they are very aware that they are important to the team. C.J. Spencer being the passer of a few touchdowns, as well as responsible for every kick. So that includes the 3 kicks that turned into turnovers, and they were very well-placed kicks. So here are the Eagles now to kick off to the Tigers. So we were correct in that before. Back to return for the Tigers, or pardon, for the Eagles, is going to be number 24, Joshua Huston, or pardon, Houston, as well as a second number that I'm having trouble seeing from this angle.
So that means that they switched it up. They had 5 and 11 back there before. Now they got 24 and someone else. We can't see who his number is.
So we'll get back. I believe actually it is Jordan Black. Or pardon. And so the kick is going to go off to the far left corner, and then the return is going to be able to bring it up to about the 28 or 29 yard line. So a good start for the Tigers.
That was actually C.J. Spencer back there to return that kick.
Indeed it was.
So not only a quarterback and a kicker, he's also, it looks like, a kick returner.
Looks like the backup kick returner for Eric Walters. Eric Walters lining up on the front line of that return. So quite possibly them just giving his ankle a quick break.
So we do have C.J. Spencer listed here as quarterback, free safety, and punter. They're not kick returner, so I wonder why they had him back there to return the opening kickoff.
So here comes an end around to none other than Walters. And actually Walters fooling me, but not the defense of the Eagles. So a 4-yard carry for the Tigers, and it's going to be second down.
Looks like Marcus Gilbert on the carry there for the Tigers. Got a couple yards. It's always good on first down to gain a couple. You don't need the full 10. It's a game of inches. Get a couple yards. Let your offense come out on second down and not second and 10.
11:17 on the clock as Spencer seems to run into trouble. There seemed to be miscommunication on that play, and he's going to go down for the Eagles' second sack of the game.
Yeah, that was number 12, Siders, there on the sack, and also helped by 23, Tyree Hansen there for the Eagles. Good penetration by the Eagles defense. That's exactly what they need to do here to come out in the second half. They have to stop this explosive Tiger offense and get the ball back into their offense's hand for the Eagles.
So it's going to be third and a little bit long here for the Tigers. 10:43 on the clock, and the Tigers are now going to drop back, and it's going to go over to the corner.
That's Tyler Dean on
and
the reception.
And that is Tyler Dean. So Tyler Dean's going to make the reception. It looks like they're giving him the first down.
That was the tackle by number 7, DeAndre Terrell. He was able to wrap up Dean by his ankles and bring him down and hold him from gaining any more extra yards. But it was enough for the first down for the Tigers.
So on the hash mark near us, Spencer's going to get under center. Spencer's going to hand it up the middle to Walters. And Walters is going to get stopped for a gain of 3. $10:11 on the clock as the clock continues to run while the Tigers are coming out here in their really conservative style. And honestly, the more the clock runs, the better, as they are leading 34-6 with only 9:55 to go in the third quarter. So Spencer's going to drop back, and he's going to throw over the middle this time to...
That's the captain, Dedrick Allen. That was a nice pass by Spencer to just quick 3-step drop to find his receiver there. That's actually the tight end, Dedrick Allen, the captain who got that catch. Looks like it's going to be second short. We might even have they're going to give him the first down.
So a possibly a generous spot, but the spot regardless. So that's going to make it first and 10 for the Tigers as the clock stops at 9:29 in order to move the chains. But here we are moving again. Tyler Dean lining up on the far side of on the top side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually going to be a run up the middle, going to Marcus Gilbert, the fullback.
Yeah, that was number 34, Ennis Mayberry there for the Eagles, who got in there quick and wrapped up Walters and took him down, saved him from gaining a couple yards. It was very good defense there by the Eagles. Looks like they only gave up about 1 or 2 yards there on that run. So besides giving up the third down, the Eagles have looked way better on defense to start this second half. See if they can't get the Tigers off the field.
And more importantly, the Eagles look rather composed. They do not seem like a team that's losing by 28 points. Spencer going to hand it back, and the Eagles are going to break through and stop that run with no trouble at all. That's going to be number 23, Tyree Hansen, with his, I believe, second tackle for loss on the game. 8:27 on the clock.
Yeah, he just jumped that gap and ran right in there and got that sack. That was a good play by Tyree Hansen, who's listed as a linebacker here. So another linebacker blitz by the Eagles that seems to have worked. It's a couple times I've seen him blitz the linebacker, and he get right through untouched for a sack.
3rd and 13 for Spencer as he drops back, and he's going to throw long. And it looks like there was a bit of a scuffle between Tyler Dean as well as DeAndre Terrell, who is also the team's quarterback, and it's going to land incomplete. It's going to be 4th and long.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed, Greg, that when the Eagles get penetration and they put pressure on Spencer, he just kind of throws the ball up. He doesn't look like he has quite patience enough to see what he has to do under pressure. So maybe that's one thing the Eagles need to look at, constantly get in there, get some pressure on Spencer, and make him make a few mistakes.
So speaking of Spencer, here he is back to punt for his second time this evening. Again, this is the PlayOn Sports broadcast coming from the David Tooker Stadium. Here, and it's a beautiful stadium here in the Natomas area of Sacramento, California. Greg Cott alongside Jason Patterson. Home of the Tigers and the visiting Eagles.
Home of that big blow-up tiger over there.
Definitely our favorite, I'd say, variation of the mascots. They even have 2 other tigers, one of them going around on rollerblades. They are ready for this game, almost as ready as the Tigers have been on the field. So, the ball at the 49, just short of midfield.
Looks like we have a problem with the scoreboard, and the referee's trying to get the scoreboard correct. So I think we're okay now.
I'm hearing I'm seeing a thumbs up to the left of us. So, looks like we're ready now with the clock stopped at 7:51 after that incomplete pass. And here's the snap. Spencer is actually going to boot it rather deep, and it's going to be caught by number 7, DeAndre Terrell. And he's going to break to the outside, but get caught in the middle, stopped at the 33-yard line. Now it looks like we have a Tiger down. Perhaps just the wind knocked out of him. However, there he is getting up. That's actually number 14 for the Tigers, which as Jason and I looked down our list, it looks like that would be the 3rd number that we do not have. We haven't seen action from him today.
Yeah, you're going to have to excuse us up here in the booth. Somebody from Inderkum High School hasn't been updating their rosters very often.
And there's definitely a scurry up here in the press booth, as when we started asking around, they started asking us the same questions. So, bit of confusion here, but I think it's safe to say, though, that the Inderkum staff here is doing a rather great job of getting to us as soon as possible. So we'd like to thank them for that and their work here. 7:43 on the clock. Eagles with one of their rare possessions in this game with the ball in the 33. Now it looks like this could be an important drive, because if they want to stay in this game, the sooner the points, the better.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely with the clock clicking down, you got to get points up. You're down so many points here in the second half. You definitely don't want to be down by more than 1 touchdown in the second half, so you got to try to eliminate that deficit as much as possible. Oh, so I guess there was a flag on the play.
It was not one that I saw on the field. However, it looks like that the Eagles have elected to make the Tigers punt again, and they're going back 15 yards.
So, yeah, it looks like we had a personal foul on the Tigers.
Who knows? It could have been verbal or anything, as, again, we did not see the laundry on the field. So, surprising news for us, but it looks like the Tigers are going to have another opportunity here for their kick.
Let's see if C.J. Spencer can't put him back on the 5 like he did with his first kick.
So DeAndre Terrell back again for the Tigers, and that's going to be a high punt, but short, as it lands at the 50, and this time makes an Eagles bounce. The Tigers have a heads-up play to fall on the ball. However, good field position for the Eagles. Smart move to make them re-kick. 41 yards till their end zone.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So 7:42 is what the clock is showing at this point as the Eagles come out in their usual formation. And this time it's going to be a pitch to number 5, Ian Broom. And he's going to run for a short gain, but the Eagles are there to wait for him. 2nd and 8.
Sweep to Broom.
I like it. So 7:29 now on the clock. That is also showing 2nd and 42, but 4 times 2 I think is what they were going for. 2nd and 8. So they're going to drop back and go for a throw here. Couple jukes coming from Isaiah Saunders, and he's going to actually work the defense to make them to get past, tackled by the secondary, and the ball's not going to be on the 27-yard line.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Isaiah Saunders. He got the catch on the flats, made a couple guys miss, and got the first down for his team. Nice play there by Saunders.
So Terrell's now going to drop back, and he's going to pitch to Tyree Hansen. And he's going to go around the outside and find his way to the end zone. He read his blocks perfectly, and that's a great touchdown from the Eagles.
Yeah, that was a good run by Tyree Hansen, but let's give it up for the blocking there on the Eagles. Without the blocking, he really didn't have to do anything. He just ran, followed his blockers. That's how you play football right there. That was a good execution by the Eagles on offense. Exactly what they needed to come in at halftime and get 7 points. They're going to need a couple more of those and a couple more stops of the Tigers, but so far so good, looking good.
So 6:58 on the clock, 34-12. And that was a great run coming from Tyree Hansen. The kick is going up, and it splits the upright. So 34-13 is the score here in the third quarter. And, you know, that back to that run there, it really was impressive by Hansen in that I like to see that patient style of running where he clearly had the speed to outrun his blockers, but he still chose to wait behind, let them do their work, and then find the end zone.
Yeah, I agree. Just good play. They teach you as a running back to follow your blockers. They don't pay those guys to block for nothing. They're big boys, and usually they can take 1 or 2 guys out in front of you. Makes it a little bit easier for the running back. He did exactly what he needed to do, followed his blockers right into the end zone for 7 points. Also, stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So to kick off for the Eagles here is number 21, Chad Phillips. Now, deep down, I kind of want to see a little bit of trickery here because, I mean, the Tigers got duped 3 times in a row by the Eagles special teams. And boy, do the Eagles look amped trying to turn this game around. And like I said, they've seemed confident thus far. So the hands are up. Seems that they're all agreeing on what they think they should be doing. 6:58 on the clock. And a whistle's blown. Perhaps miscommunication, and maybe as I look for the head referee now, the whistle does blow. So there was confusion there, and here's the kick. And it's a bullet going deep. That looks like it's going to be a touchback. Rather safe special teams. Eagles putting faith in their defense here with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was a very nice kick there by the kicker. I think his name, let's see, Chad Phillips we have here listed as the kicker. Good kick, line drive kick, got it out of the end zone. No chance for the 747 to take that one back, Eric Walters.
Smart playing on their end, as Eric Walters has shown that he's faster than possibly everybody on the field. So, Tigers now coming out trying to control this game even more. Probably just with clockwork, as it's going to be a run up the middle. Lots of trickery, but a gain of 2 or 3.
Number 5, Eric Walters on the carry.
And that was Eric Walters. So 2nd and 7 after that. As the clock continues to roll in favor of the Tigers right now, as it's dropped down to 6:30. And that's going to be an end around to Walters. Walters is going to juke once, juke twice, break one tackle, and get just a bit past the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a gain of maybe 2 or 3 from my angle. It's going to be 3rd and a few. So it was actually ruled a 5-yard pickup. It looks like he danced up the sideline a bit more. Couldn't see it from the helmets of the Tigers players. 6:21 on the clock. So he did get out of bounds. And here's the snap. Spencer actually going to make a quick handoff to Walters. Walters stuffed just past the first down marker, though. It looks like he's going to get it to the 34-yard line. First down, Tigers.
It was actually Terrence White on the carry, number 11 for the Tigers. Looking good. Found that hole that we were talking about earlier. It looked like the same hole that he found for the touchdown earlier in the game when they were down on the red zone. Looks like whenever Terrence White gets the ball, their offensive line likes to make huge holes up the middle, and he just likes to run right through them and gain good positive yardage.
So the underrated Tigers making a name for themselves with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. So Spencer is going to fake a handoff. Now this time it does go to Walters, but Walters is going to receive the ball after a double reverse, and flags are flying in the area of holding. Let's wait from the referee to see what the call exactly is.
That's exactly what it is, Greg. Holding on the Tigers. Good call there. I mean, usually when you see a flag in the backfield, that usually does equal holding. That's 5-yard penalty for the Tigers.
So the Tigers are going backward instead of forward. 5:44 to go on the clock.
That's not a good sign, especially with the way the Eagles came out and got that 7 points here to start the second half. The Tigers want to keep the Eagles off their momentum. Go down and get points here is big. I mean, even with the lead, you want to make sure you keep them down. You don't want to give them any speck of life, and right now it's looking like that's what they're doing. If the Eagles can get a stop here and go down and get 7 points, they're looking pretty to possibly get back in this game.
So the Tigers have cleverly taken this lead as the clock ticks down to just about 5.5. But really, they out-strategized the Eagles earlier. But the Eagles are a much more athletic team as Tyler Dean catches another reception. And he gets about to the original line of scrimmage. However, a flag is thrown in the area of the offensive line. Doesn't look like holding.
Yeah, we got a lot of Tigers clapping it. I'm assuming we got a roughing the passer here.
And so we see, and indeed it's going to be a personal foul. So, personal foul is going to change everything. Possibly even enough to give the Tigers an automatic first down.
Yeah, that was a big penalty there. The Eagles definitely didn't need that. They had the Tigers back a long ways to get a first down.
So, and indeed that will be a first down. So, ball on the 46-yard line, a fresh set of downs for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's not the way the Eagles need to play if they want to get back in this game. Personal fouls are not something you want to give up.
On the near side hash mark, it's going to go an end around to Walters. They like that play a lot. Gain of about 5 yards. Beautiful run from Walters, and he's really shown consistency, especially coming around the outside.
Yeah, the kid's a stud. It looks like they decide to give him the ball like whenever they need a couple yards, 5 to 6. Always gaining a couple good chunks. Definitely a good weapon to have on your side of the ball.
So we just ticked past 5 minutes here. As the Inderkum High Tigers are showing a lot of dominance, and that's the curse of a broadcaster. CJ Spencer seeming able to drop right on top of his own fumble. So that's just kind of going to be a waste of a down, maybe even a loss of a yard or two. And so that's going to make it 3rd and 6 with 4:27 to go on the clock. So Spencer's ran to the sidelines now, where it looks like he's received the play from the coach. So let's see what they decide to do with this one. Walters coming around the end, but it's going to be a throw, and it goes straight into the dirt, and that's going to make it 4th and 6.
So even after giving up a big penalty there with the personal foul, the Eagles do hold on defense, exactly what they needed to do to get the ball back in their offense's hands and see if they can't get some more points, trailing the Tigers 34-13 with 3 minutes 56 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Eagles definitely need to go down and get some points if they want to stay in this game.
So now a funny play here, as it looks like Walters is on the offensive line. I could be mistaken, though. Oh, as it is a punt, and Walters is the first in the backfield. Good thing the Eagles are calling a fair catch. Almost interference by the Tigers. The Eagles are going to get the ball at the 25.
Another fair catch by number 19, Wyatt Demps, for the Eagles.
And great composure on his end, as really the footsteps were coming, and he was able to stay in control of his position, make sure that he didn't get hit by even his own bodies.
Yeah, it looks like you called it right there. Eric Walters, the 747, he was the snapper there, the long snapper, and he got down there, the first kid down there. So he's the snapper and the gunner. That takes some skills and some speed to be able to snap the ball and be the first kid down the field.
So Spencer and Walters really being a dynamic duo so far in this offense, as flags fly everywhere.
Looks like the hard count even got the offensive line on that one.
Like, it's got to be hard to be an offensive lineman, but sometimes it's, in the huddle, they know what the count's going to be on, but I guess sometimes your nerves get the better end of you, and they're going to have to go back 5 yards.
Well, it doesn't help when you got the defensive line just sitting there telling you how much they're going to come and run you over as soon as they call hike. You try to get that extra little second there to make sure they don't run you over, and sometimes you do get called for that for the false start.
So the ball's back on the 20 now, 1st and 15, just under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. So it's going to be a pitch back to, again, Tyree Hansen, and Tyree Hansen is going to break loose, and he is outrunning everybody on the field until he's pushed out of bounds. Great run on his part. Ball now at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great run. He got outside. Normally I like to tell you that was all blocks, but that was all Tyree Hansen with his speed there. He got to the outside and just made everybody on the defense behind him definitely turned on the speed. It was a good run by Tyree Hansen. We've seen a couple good ones there from Tyree throughout the game. Looking good for the Eagles, exactly what they need now into Tiger territory, driving here late in the third quarter with 3 minutes 44 seconds to go in the third.
So here come the Eagles, and it's going to be a run up the middle for Saunders again. Just about a gain of 3.
So they got Saunders, who likes to run it up the middle, and Tyree Hansen, who just takes off with it. It's a good little 1-2 punch there for the Eagles. We've seen it throughout the whole entire game. Not much passing by the Eagles, but when you're running so well, why decide to pass it?
Definitely. It seems like they have a great offense, and they're highly ranked for a reason. It just seems like they did not prepare well, as Hansen sweeps again to the right outside toward the top of your screen. And the marking over here looks like it's going to be at the 41. And indeed, that's where they're going to spot it.
Yeah, that was a good job by the Tiger defense to get to the outside and make sure Tyree Hansen did not do what he did the couple plays ago. You got to make sure that kid doesn't get to the outside, because he will get some room and he will take it for some extra yards. We do have a number 79 limping off the field for the Tigers.
And that's Nick Van Skyke, actually.
Let's hope that he's okay. I mean, he was able to run off the field, so that's always a good sign. He is getting checked out by one of the trainers, so let's hope he's all right.
He was definitely in on one of the tackles, and it was impressive in that sense, because it seemed like the Tigers were ready for a sweep to the right, sweep to the far side, and actually there was a holding call on it as well, so that's going to push him back even further and making it 2nd and 12. It's looking like 2nd and 17.
So over here on the sideline, we have a number 15 warming up for the Tigers. I'm not quite sure why, but he's throwing a couple passes, dropping back and warming up. Maybe they're planning to bring in 15 instead of C.J. Spencer.
Number 15 being Mark Matthews, I believe, the backup. The backup quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Tigers play this out, because as the Eagles just called their first time out of the half, 2:57 on the clock. 34-13 is a solid lead, and right now the Tigers just need to sit on the ball. They've got such a demanding lead. The Eagles might not even have enough time to win this game.
Yeah, I agree. Just keep running the ball, getting first downs. If you put the offensive coordinator, you make him me, I'm just giving the ball to number 5, Eric Walters, and letting him just do what he does best, and that's run as fast as he possibly can, get up and down this field, and waste some time off this clock, and let's go home with the W.
So here's the ball on the far hash mark for the Eagles. Now they've really got a second and long here. It's actually going to be listed at second and 15. I believe it is closer to 17. Eagles are going to drop back. Terrell's going to drop back, and he got hit, but he still got the pass off in time to his checkoff, and the great breaking tackles coming from number 34, Ennis Mayberry. So Ennis Mayberry, first action we've seen from him, and man, he is a force to stop.
Yeah, he got a couple YAC yards after contact there. Broken a couple tackles, got the first down, because if the linebacker would have wrapped him up, they would have had him for less than a first down. But he broke one tackle, got the first down, ended up breaking another tackle to gain a couple extra yards. Overall, a very good pass and catch by the Eagles to put themselves into Tiger territory.
So it's 2:20 to go on the clock. It's actually now going to be 3rd and 4. As the pitch back goes back to Saunders. Saunders is now actually going to get the first down. So he was going to the right side, but he saw a hole to his left and was able to turn that into some really positive yardage. Congratulations to him on that. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go on the clock.
Yeah, that was a good run by Saunders. Like you said, he started right, seen a hole, broke left, got through that hole, and picked up that first down.
So here's Terrell under center. Terrell is going to drop back 5-7 steps, and he goes deep to the other side of the field, and that is an Eagles touchdown. Wyatt Demps, the receiver on that end. Nobody saw it coming, and it's a little bit closer, 19-34 with 1:48 to go.
Yeah, that was a very good throw and catch by the Eagles. He had his wide receiver just wide open in the back of the end zone, made a very nice touch throw. That was a good play by the Eagles. Like I was saying earlier, that this Tigers, they need to step it up. They got that early lead, but the Eagles showing why they are ranked so high in the state of California. They are not going to just go home and get with a blowout. They're going to make this game interesting. If they can put this through the uprights, they'll be only down 14 points with still the whole fourth quarter and 1:48 to go in the third.
Definitely getting a lot closer, and we'll see how the Tigers handle this pressure. And flags are flying. It looks like we might have a false start on the Eagles, which would make things a bit more complicated, as 15 points is a lot more difficult than 14, because you will need that 2-point conversion at some point. Let's hear from the referee. And it's actually going to be an encroachment on the Tigers. So we see a different unit coming up. Possibly if it's just 1 yard, maybe the Eagles will be more comfortable going for 2.
Yeah, I agree, Greg. It looks like they are going to go to 2. That was their quarterback, DeAndre Terrell, running in late there with a play. So let's see what they run here for the 2 points.
And it's going to be a run up the middle, and absolutely no sweat for Colin Cerny. So as we tick 9 o'clock in the evening, still 1:41 on the clock. However, it's 21-34. The complete dominance of the Tigers in the first half has been dwindled down to 13 points, but it's a lead regardless. Let's see how they handle this.
Yeah, they've scored all in the first half. They haven't done anything here in the second half. They're going to need to go down and get some points. They were looking so well in the first half. Maybe, I don't know what happened. They just maybe came out expecting the Eagles to roll over and die, but obviously that is not going to happen here at Inderkum High School. Also, don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So now back to receive for the Tigers. It's going to once again be Walters, but he is lined up next to Spencer. So they've got their quarterback and their wide receiver / running back / kick returner / defensive back. Back to kick also. Not to discredit Spencer because he is also a free safety and a kicker.
It actually looks like it's Terrence White out there instead of C.J. Spencer, Greg.
And I think you are right. So thank you for that. So here's the kick, and it's going to go rather deep. However, not too deep. As Walters gets underneath it, jukes twice. And he's tackled at the 11. So again, the Eagles showing, it seems play by play, the Eagles are in control.
Yeah, that was a good kick. If I was Walters, I might have let that one go in the end zone and take the ball at the 20. Instead, he tried to take the ball, maybe make a little bit happen, and they're going to have to start in the 11.
So we hear the cheers from the crowd as they try to get behind this Tiger offense, which again has been rather stagnant in the second half. As the clock ticks down to 1:32. That's going to go to Terrence White as he sweeps around to the outside, but he does not quite get to the line of scrimmage. He thought that he avoided the sideline, tried to run backwards, but that's going to be a no gain.
Yeah, that was very good penetration again by the Eagles defense. The Eagles defense looking like the Tiger defense in the first half, just overall just doing real good, stopping them, not letting up too many yards. Just the Tigers need to figure out something. They need to get some yards, get a little bit of room behind them. I'm saying if the Tigers don't get points here, they definitely need to start a little urgency.
So, as the clock ticks down to 50 seconds, Tigers probably comfortable with that. But it's going to be a drop-back pass, and it's going to be a good one over to the far side of the field. And after a couple broken tackles, that's a first down.
Yeah, that was a very good second effort there by the receiver to go ahead and get that first down. It looks like that was number 24.
Chris Sapp.
Chris Sapp on the reception. Looking good. Just kept his feet moving, kept his head down, and made sure he got that first down for his team. That was a much-needed first down by the Tigers. They need to get a couple more of those, maybe get into the Eagle territory, take some time off this clock. They're going to need a very long drive here.
The clock continues to tick down to 30 seconds as the Tigers are probably comfortable with such. And it's going to be a run up the middle, this time going to, I believe, Marcus Gilbert, but I'm going to need to see for sure.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would have called a play there. I might have just let the clock run down. I'm pretty sure they had enough time to do that. Looks like they're going to do that here, so that will do it for the third quarter. We have the Inderkum Tigers leading the Pleasant Grove Eagles 34-21 coming into the fourth quarter. Just great play by both teams. It's been kind of a tale of halves here, with the first half being all the Tigers of Inderkum and second half being all the Pleasant Grove Eagles. Let's see what happens here in the fourth quarter. Always going to be exciting here with these two dominant teams. Let's see what happens.
So we went from a potential blowout to a potential nail-biter. So 34-21 again is the score. For those of you just tuning in, this is David Tooker Stadium here for the Inderkum Tigers as the Pleasant Grove Eagles here in Sacramento, California, come to visit Inderkum. And Inderkum, with this big, beautiful field and loud crowd, they're doing what they can. However, the Eagles are on a roll.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So the clock's set to 12 minutes. Only a 13-point lead. Before it was, I believe, 28 at its greatest point. Or maybe it even got to maybe it even got to 34, as my memory fails me at this point. But here we are now with a second and long, I'd say 9 to 9.5 yards.
Yeah, the crowd trying to get behind the home Tigers here, trying to get them pumped up, see if they can't go get points to keep these Eagles.
So it's going to be an in around to Walters. Walters is going to sweep, break one tackle, break two. And that's going to be a first down for the Tigers. What a run on his part.
That kid is quick.
Eric Walters, a senior for the team. Definitely showing his veteran leadership as he has been all around the field. Now, it looked like we had a delay in the ticking of the clock. Perhaps they're running it down now. Now it's going a little too far, so we're probably going to have to stop the game to get the clock organized.
Yeah, we got all the fans turning around and yelling at the scoreboard operator. It's kind of a funny thing. We have all the coaches on the field and players trying to tell him to keep the clock moving. He might have to get an escort out to his car if the Tigers don't go home with a W here.
Yeah, so definitely the Tigers, I could imagine the Tigers telling the crowd to hush because they would like this clock to move as much as they can possibly get it to. Again, sorting out the confusion. Looks like the coaches cross the field possibly to check out Eric Walters, who is hobbling again on that right ankle. So perhaps he was playing a little bit more injured than he let on. But it's going to be just actually third and short as he did not quite get the first down. But he's calling over the trainer, getting some water even. So we'll be sure to keep you updated on that. That would be a crucial injury for the Tigers. Looks like he's getting his water and he's stretching it out. He has full intentions of coming back into this game. So the clock is sitting at 11:37, but the referees are discussing where it should be, I believe.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
So it's going to be a run up the middle for the Tigers, and it's going to be enough for the first down and then some. Good news for them as they are continuing to try to stay in control of this clock, which just ticks a little bit closer to 11 minutes.
Yeah, that looked like that was a quarterback keeper by Spencer. I couldn't quite tell, but whoever did run the ball, that was a good one and got the first down.
So as I scan the sideline, I currently do not see, or pardon, I take it back. I just found Walters on the sideline. He looks like he's still getting stretched out by a trainer. So the clock continues now that the chains have been moved. So we're down to 11:10. And it's going to be a run up the middle by somebody who runs like a fullback. However, that's going to be Brandon Powell, who indeed is listed as a fullback, 5'10", 210. Sounds like fullback numbers, and that's going to be a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, he looked a whole lot bigger than that out there running the ball. He looked like old school Jerome Bettis out there, the bus, just keeping that moving. That was a good first down, a good run, and to keep the clock moving. It's exactly what the Tigers need here in the fourth.
It was funny because I saw Jason react the exact same way that I did, because it was definitely a back that we hadn't seen, and we were surprised that we hadn't seen him.
Yeah, he's a big boy out there. He looks a whole lot bigger than 210 pounds. They might be a little generous on his weight there.
So it's going to be another run up the middle.
This time to Terrence White.
So Terrence White going to be stuffed, and the momentum pushes him all the way back to the 40-yard line. However, forward progress is going to be a gain of about 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah, I think the Eagles got away with a personal foul on that one. There's a little bit of extracurricular activity going on. The play was blown dead, and they still continue to run the quarterback, or the wide receiver back. They got lucky they didn't get a 15-yard penalty on that.
So a tough break for the Eagles now as the Tigers look at second and long. 10 minutes now on the clock as they've only burned 2 minutes in this fourth quarter. And that's going to be a run around the outside.
That is Eric Walters on the run. That's
indeed
a good sign because he's back in the game.
So he's done stretching and he's back in the game. He must be feeling good about that right calf. As I assume that's the injury. Perhaps it could be a high ankle, but it's definitely in that lower leg area. And more time burning, 9.5.
Yeah, the Tigers are doing exactly what they want to do here. They want to take all 40 seconds of the play clock. Definitely just waste as much time as possible here, leading in the fourth quarter. Just keep getting first downs. They're going to need one here on third down. As long as you can keep the ball moving and that clock moving, you're looking good with a 2-touchdown lead.
So it looks like
we have a timeout.
A timeout by the Tigers. So it looks like they used all the clock that they could, but didn't like the formation. Made sure that they used up enough clock. Now that we're stopped at 9 minutes and 8 seconds, the Tigers are only with a 13-point lead despite 34 points scored in the first half. 34-21 is the lead. Now, Jason, it really has been an interesting game because in the first half, the Tigers look like they just had an overall better program on top of everything. But the Eagles have shown dominance in the second.
Yeah, that proves that the Eagles are a very solid team. I mean, to go down by so many points and to come out in the second half with the momentum and just the overall stature that the Eagles have coming out with, I mean, it proves that they are a solid team here. And they're showing their 67 rank. Definitely a good, solid team. Like I said again, I have to repeat it again. To go down by so many points in the first half and to come back looking so dominant in the second half, I'm going to give my hats off to the Eagles and their entire program.
That's definitely what we're looking at because the Eagles showing that they have a good program too. And like I said, they came out to the second half looking calm. They looked like they were down by 28 points and that they could win this game. So here are the Tigers now in shotgun. Spencer rolls out to the right, and he's going to make a throw. He dumps it off to Terrence White, and that's going to be possibly just back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a couple yards.
What a hit by Isaiah Saunders out
Definitely.
there. He's been tired of running the ball as the running back and getting hit, so they put him out there on defense and let him put some pain in a couple of running backs for the other side of the ball. Always good to go ahead and hit some people when you've been the one getting hit all game.
Definitely looks like a coach sent Saunders out and said, go get him.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. Very, very nice tackle by Saunders.
So a few lineup changes here from the Tigers, and boy, are they taking their sweet time as we tick down to 8:25. Strategic clockwork here from the Tigers, and that's going to be a run up the middle, or pardon, a play action, and that's going to go to Tyler Dean. And boy, did the linebackers stop and look around because they thought somebody didn't have the ball, but Dean getting the ball past the 20. Tigers now looking good as they're in striking distance.
Yeah, that was a big fourth down conversion there for the Tigers. Definitely looking good. Had my buddy here, Greg, nice and fooled. Had me kind of fooled. Next thing you know, there's a ball flying through the air, and they're moving the chains. A good play by the Tigers. Keep the Eagles off guard. I think the only downfall from that play was that he got out of bounds to stop the clock, but still good. They got inside the red zone. That's always good. Let's see if they can't put some more points up and help themselves hang on to this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, this time the Tigers duping us up in the booth. So here's Spencer under center, and he's going to run it up the middle. And it looks like they're just going to go back to it looked like Tyler Dean. And
that was actually the big fullback, number 7, Brandon Powell.
It was Brandon Powell indeed, so thank you for that. As this offense seems really fond of numbers lower than 12. And 3s, 7s, and 5s, apparently, either it's my eyes or just real life, but look difficult from here. So, Spencer now with the single back, and it's going to be a run up the middle for White. White, inside the 10.
Yeah, that was a very nice play by number 23, Tyree Hansen for the Eagles. Got to the outside, took Terrence White down to keep him for a loss.
Now it seems that both teams have a handful of players doing all the work as the clock ticks down near 7 minutes. It's interesting because it's almost confusing from here where I see somebody tackle and get tackled with the exact same number on it. It seems like both rosters have their players that can do it on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, this is a big third down here for the Eagles. The Eagles need to make this stop here. They don't want to give up 7. They definitely don't want to give up a first down, so they need to get a stop here on third down.
So Spencer under center, and it's going to be a run up the middle for the Tigers. And it looks like Spencer went with the QB sneak, so it worked. First and goal, Tigers.
I'd call that the QB bull rush because he just ran right over a couple of kids. He decided he was getting that first down. He wants to take the Tigers to a W, and he proved it there on that play. He just put his head down and got that first down. That was a very nice quarterback keeper by C.J. Spencer.
Yeah, it's hard to call it a sneak when he's 6'2" and 190 pounds. He's not really hiding from anybody. So the wave passes by us one more time. So we've ticked another 30 seconds off the clock. Now, they're just inside the 5-yard line, and so far when the Tigers have been down here, they've succeeded. And it's going to be a run up the middle for the Tigers, bouncing outside.
That's Brandon Powell on the carry.
It's going to be Brandon Powell again.
That was Enos Mayberry who got in the backfield to affect that run. It was a good penetration again by the Eagles. The Eagles looking good here in the red zone on defense, trying to keep the Tigers out of the end zone, which is exactly what they need to do, because if they give up 6 points here late in the fourth quarter, I'm thinking that's game over for the Eagles. 17 points is a little bit easier than 21 here with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
As we get further down to the left end of the field, I see not only myself, but I see a lot of people standing up to get a better look at this. Now, the clock is ticking. It's down at 5:40, but it looks like they've got 3 backs deep. Only they're going to roll out and throw. But no, Spencer's going to tuck and run. And that is a touchdown for the Tigers. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tigers have just dropped a 40-burger. 40-21 is the score. And here comes the extra point unit.
Yeah, that was a big touchdown by the Tigers. That's exactly what they needed to go up 21 points. I'm saying barring a couple of defensive just absolute breakdowns, that probably is going to be the nail in the coffin for the Tigers.
The Eagles definitely have their work cut out for him. Spencer looks like he's hobbling a bit, but he's a tough kid. He's definitely throwing his name in the hat as well for player of the game, but of course we want to see this whole thing play out. Still an exciting ball game. 5:28 on the clock, 40-21. And it looks like the Tigers are going for 2. No messing around here. And it's going to go around the outside to Walters, and Walters is going to get in with no trouble at all. 42-21, the score's been doubled.
Yeah, that, like I've said before, that kid is quick. It almost kind of scares me to think that he's got a lower leg injury right now. I mean, that kid at 100%, you might blink and he might go 100 yards on you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't imagine how much quicker he would be without this leg injury, as he's shown that he's far and away the fastest kid on either team.
Yeah, that's two two-point conversions there for Walters. He's gotten a receiving touchdown. I think he might even have got an earlier touchdown. Yeah, he's just been all over the field for the Tigers. Like I said earlier, just a weapon that's much needed for any team to have. The kid's real good and got a lot of determination. I've seen him hobble off the field a couple times, get stretched out, and get right back out there.
So, again, 5:23 is on the clock, and it looks like the Tigers are really showing a lot of dominance here.
Also, don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game, as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So here comes the Tigers special teams unit, led by their quarterback slash kicker, C.J. Spencer.
Let's see if they don't try to actually kick this one deep. I haven't seen a long kick from the Tigers all day.
Hands are down, the kick is up, and it's going to be short again. This time the Eagles having trouble getting on top of it, but it's going to be received by Ian Broom. He's been all over the field tonight. And it looks like he's going to get the ball up to the 33.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So here come the Eagles now, trying to stay alive in this one, and that's going to be a pitch back to...
That's Saunders, and he's
that's
going.
Saunders is going, as I made the mistake of looking down faster than a blink. Tackled at the 20-yard line. Great run.
Yeah,
He's
what a
had
run.
an all-around amazing game. Win or lose at this point. I got to tip my hat to him.
Yeah, I agree. That was just the last drive that he was on defense, made a great hit on a ball carrier, and now this time when the offense gets the ball, he's the one being the ball carrier and takes the ball for a great run all the way down to the opposing 20-yard line. That was exactly what the Eagles needed if they wanted to have any chance of being in this game. So we have 5 minutes to go with the Eagles trailing the Tigers 42-21.
So here's a pitch back again to Saunders, breaking a tackle in the backfield and getting back toward the line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit short. That's going to make it second and about 11.
That was actually a Broom on the carry there.
So Broom doing his sweeping. 5:30 on the clock as the Eagles now have the ball on the 21. And we were saying it's out of reach before, but we've seen quick points from either side tonight.
Yeah, I'm a little curious to see why they ran the ball again there, being so close to the end zone with time clicking.
Definitely questionable as Terrell drops back, not finding options, and he's going to shuffle it up to the big man, number 23, Tyree Hansen. And woo, tough break for the Tigers. He gets pushed out at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good, nice little play there. Terrell was just sitting in that pocket for a long time. It was a good play by the offensive line to give him that much time. Started moving his feet, decided it was a nice little shovel pass to 23, Tyree Hansen, and the big man just turned on the jets. I mean, he went from still to fast in 2 seconds flat.
So here's Terrell, and he's going to pitch hand to the left side to Saunders, who looks like he's going to get stuffed at the goal line. Good gang tackle from the Tigers.
Yeah, that was a good defensive hold there by the Tigers.
As we get down to 4 minutes here, 42-21 still the score.
We got a couple fans starting to clear out here. Maybe they're thinking it's over with a 21-point lead here with under 3 minutes to go, or excuse me, under 4 minutes to go.
It's always interesting to see which fans are worried about traffic. And so it's going to be a run up the middle for the Eagles, and we are seeing a touchdown on both sides.
That's Colin Cerny on the run, number 20.
Colin Cerny, a team captain, with more success on the running game, on the ground, and he seems to be hobbling a little bit, but okay. 27-42 is the score now.
That was a quick touchdown by the Eagles. It's not what the Tigers needed to do. But, I mean, still leading 15 until after this kick. If they make it, it'll be 14 points. Let's see what happens here with the special teams.
And the kick looks like it's almost blocked, but even closer to being hit by hitting the kicker. But the kick goes in. 42-28 to score now. 14-point lead is nowhere near as comfortable as 21, even though there's only 3.5 on the clock.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what happens here, see if they don't onside it or maybe do exactly what the Tigers have been doing to them all night, and that's do a little pooch kick and see if somebody doesn't bumble the ball and see if they can't get in there and make a play and get the ball back. I don't see them trying to give the Tigers the ball back, seeing as the Tigers wasted too much time and got a touchdown on their last drive. I'm definitely seeing them trying to do something to get the ball back for their offense here.
I see conversation over on the sideline of the Tigers. It looks like they've got something planned. Now the Eagles coming up with a big huddle here, maybe even a pep talk that is just if the ball comes toward you. My apologies, I got the Tigers and Eagles switched as I had to figure out sign language from Jason, so thank you, Jason. But talk coming from the Eagles on the other sideline, the Tigers just getting a pep talk here. As it looks like the Tigers are probably just being told, if the ball comes your way, you better grab it.
Yeah, just follow on the ball. That's all they need to do with 3.5 minutes to go. One drive, 2 first downs, 3 first downs. This game's over. So if the ball goes anywhere near a Tiger, I expect to see them just flop on the ball.
As that might be it in order to win this game.
Yeah, this is a big kick here. It looks like it is going to be an onside kick with everybody lined up on your side of the screen.
So it is lined up, and it's going to bounce past the 50-yard line, but then go out of bounds, so that's going to be Tigers' ball.
Yeah, because it was touched by a Tiger, so live ball, and it went out of bounds. So Tigers go ahead and regain possession of the ball.
So the Tigers regain possession, possibly deflating the hope for the Eagles now. But again, Eagles have shown they can score quickly, 3:29 on the clock.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how many timeouts the Eagles have left, but we're going to see what happens here with 3 minutes, 29 seconds to go in this game, with the Tigers leading the Eagles 42-28 here at home. So I'm saying 1 to 2 first downs will do it here, Greg. I don't know what you think.
It can't be that much different as Walters gets the end around, seeing a lot of open space and a lot of room to run. That's a good start. Gain of 9 on the run there.
That kid is no joke. I would not be surprised if you hear Eric Walters' name for years to come. That kid is quick. If it not be football, it'd be track and field or something. That kid has definitely got some speed.
Yeah, I can't imagine how fast he is without pads and without a high ankle injury. So Walters and Spencer really being dominant in this game almost equally.
Yeah, between the quarterback and the running back of the Tigers, they're definitely keeping the game on going good for the Tigers.
The clock continues to roll here, 2:45. Coming into motion now is White, and it's actually going to be a quarterback keep for C.J. Spencer, and he pushes it past the first down marker. That changes things a lot. The chains are going to move, but we're going to continue rolling toward 2 minutes here.
Yeah, I bet the Tigers aren't the biggest fans of the fact that the clock stops while the referees get to set the chains and all that stuff. But we do have the clock moving now that the ball is set, under 2.5 minutes to go here in the game. Tigers taking plenty of time to get the play out there. They are not worried. I wouldn't even be surprised if they weren't even caring if they took a delay of game just to take more time off this clock.
As it looks like it's going to be an end around to White. White's going to sweep, and he only gains about 2 or 3 yards, but more importantly, he stays in bounds. We now tick to 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. The Tigers on their way to coming up with a huge upset over the Eagles of Pleasant Grove. I got to say, I'm impressed really by both teams, but the Tigers have shown what they're made of today.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely did not want to take their first loss to a higher-ranked team, and they came out and proved that. A lot of action in the first half. I think if it wasn't for the special teams of the Tigers, this game could have been a whole lot closer. But needless to say, the Tigers just looked great in the first half, and it's showing.
So perhaps the Tigers were seemed unchallenged as they go up the middle again for Walters. And that's a gain of 4. We get down to 1:25, and the Eagles finally take a timeout. I was wondering if they were even going to use them at this point, as they are down by 14 points. So
also, don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com post-game show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
now, as basically the tone of the PA at this point is kind of sounding like the Tigers are counting this as a win, so that's going to move the Tigers 2-3-0 on the season. That's going to drop Pleasant Grove down to 2-2. Both tough losses for Pleasant Grove, as they have a very ambitious schedule, also going up against Sheldon and Roseville as well as Ponderosa. So, not to mention Jesuit, Oak Ridge, and Folsom. So Pleasant Grove really took on a tough schedule, which means they have plenty of room to improve later as the season goes.
Yeah, I agree. Looking here at the schedule, they had a couple close wins. They beat Rockland 35-21 and Nevada Union 29-28.
As a run goes up the middle for the Tigers, almost turning it into something good.
That's Powell again on the run, the big fullback.
So Powell pushing back linebackers over there, and it looks like it'll get the ball at 30, and fans are starting to clap and stand as the clock now will roll once the ball is set. 1:11 left to, again, a huge upset. I know that this is going to make headlines around the area.
Yeah, especially with the special team play of the Tigers. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something you read about all week long, is how the Tigers just three kickoffs that they've got recovered the fumbles. Just looking great.
And 3 touchdowns is rather important when you only win by 2, as the clock ticks down to 1 minute and the Tigers take a knee. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Tigers are going to win this game in beautiful fashion, 42-28. Greg Cott alongside Jason Patterson. Stay tuned, though. We're going to have some post-game coverage as well as a player of the game interview. I'm going to have trouble choosing between CJ Spencer as well as Eric Walters. We'll see which one we get up here. Heck, if not both of them, if we have the equipment to do it, we'd gladly do it. We'll see how this goes. They are one knee away from victory. I see the anticipation on the sidelines. Congratulations to the Tigers on a great, great win.
Yeah, that's going to make this Friday night very interesting for these kids. They're going to go home and party and have a good night, knowing they're up 3-0 in their record for this year. And they took down a top 100 school in California. I believe our producer told us they're ranked number 7 here in Northern California. So that's a very good win by the Tigers over the Pleasant Grove Eagles. And that will do it here at Inderkum High School in Sacramento, California.
So perhaps they seemed untested as they had dominant wins over Spanish Springs and Clovis East. Maybe this team's a lot better than stats can show, as they have now beat a team that is nearly 25 places ahead of them in the state.
Yeah,
we're going to have to pay attention to those numbers through the week because we know they're going to be shooting up.
Yeah, I'd definitely be interested to see what the new rankings are for both teams, especially the Inderkum Tigers. They looked really good out here tonight, Greg. Wouldn't be surprised if we don't see them come playoff time.
So, actually, as the hands are shaken and you see the final score up again, 42-28, we're going to step aside. We're going to go snag a player or two, see what we can do. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back just after this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity. And they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack. Great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback. A second opportunity by Bosback. Lift violation call. Winner. It's an over the neck call. Oh my goodness. Bosback reached over on the attack. A Maverick error wraps up the title for the Presentation Panthers. A 15-9 victory in game number 5, and they wrap it up coming back from 2-0 down match-wise and take it 3-2.
36-35 and driving, and oh, baby! Shrigley with the jam, and it was with emphasis. And it's the foul, and listen to these fans.
Do you know who's standing up right behind us? Tony Bland, who is the head recruiter for San Diego State. I think he's drooling. Somebody get that man a napkin.
Quick score on this drive. There goes a handoff to Zeller, trying to go straight ahead, but he is met by Wool. Now he breaks out to the outside, gets across the 30, 35, on the right, 40, midfield. He's running down the sidelines. He's going to go all the way as he's at the 10, 5, touchdown. Patrick Zeller he stood up at the line of scrimmage and broke out to his left to the far sidelines, and he was in a foot race, and he went all the way for the touchdown. Broke a tackle and made it nice and showed his speed as he got outside for the touchdown.
Back in the backfield to the left is Campbell. Hernandez takes the snap, play action to Campbell. Looks down the field. Now here comes the pressure. He's going to be hit. He breaks the tackle, rolls left.
Now he's going to cut upfield. He's going to break another tackle, and then another tackle down the sideline. Gets a block inside the 5. What a touchdown! Hernandez goes 33 yards in spectacular fashion, breaking 4 tackles along the way, including 2 in the backfield, and Hilltop has tied this one up at 29.
Grant with a big, strong defensive rebound. He brings it back down the floor again, and another slam dunk. Jeremy Grant can run the point, and he can fly. Huge dunk, 2 big dunks in the last
Bullard
minute.
trying to close it out. Deep ball, up in the air, Cram. Bringing it back, Arbizo. Cram over in 3, free opportunity. Look for Rodabaugh. No, pass middle, Weimer. Ball game. 25-19. Foothill wins it 3-1.
Because this kid has definitely proven that he can make things happen here in this ball game.
They will go with him. Bula Graft on a stretch run, just breaking tackles. The little man is in the clear to Tory territory. The 25, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Knights. What a run, the freshman, Bula Graft.
Ooh, I tell you what. There were at least 3 times on that run that he should have gone down or he should have been wrapped up. Missed tackles there cost La Jolla Country Day as Bula Graft, the freshman running back for Bishops, is able to take it in. And that was a determined run there, Andy.
So 1st and 10. Brandon Lewis in the shotgun. Has time to throw. And he'll fire, and he has a mad diving catch. Did he hold on to it? He did. What a catch from Kendall Keys. And that may be the KBC Sports Player of the Week.
What a catch he laid himself out there, and a great throw, as you said. Read it nicely, did Lewis, and really caught his receiver on the go, and just kind of put it out there right on the outstretch of his fingertips. He laid out, and he made a catch.
1-1.
You know when a pitcher is behind an account and throws his breaking ball, he's feeling it.
The pitch is going to be fisted to second base on a liner, and the ball is caught by McGrew, and Valley Christian wins the game on a Cameron Stewart no-hitter.
Wow, what a way to go out if you're Cameron Stewart. A no-no in the championship game. If there's scouts out there, they had to be impressed by this young kid's velocity, control, and breaking ball all worked well today. He had it going for this Valley Christian team.
What a gem. He's going to give it to Tyree on an exchange against the zone, do a little 3-man weave. This is Tyrell back with it. Tyrell's going to go lob backdoor. Tyree Robinson with a flush.
Now that was nice. Very nice design play.
Uwaba back there. Bogart takes a snap. He's going to run the play. He's going to throw. He's got a man open at the 10. It's underthrown. It's incomplete. No, or is it caught? It is a catch. Wow, juggling catch inside the 5-yard line. Moliga. Was that Moliga pulling that one in? It is Moliga. Boy, that ball was deflected by one of the Falcons, and then Moliga, he lands on the ground and pulls it in. What a catch.
3 men in the backfield, back to the wing. This time inside counter to Telefaro. No, they're going to throw this one. He's got a man open. And what a catch! What a grab by tight end Joe Gigantino. He must have bobbled that ball 4 times in the air, and he was actually tipped by the defender and had the presence of mind to keep his concentration and make the grab. Unbelievable catch. And the ball at the 29-yard line of the Eagles, and you can see the defense. They're still bewildered. How did he come up with that grab?
Even with 2 defenders around him and 4 big. That's so unconventional for a guy to handle the ball so well. January with a one-hand jam.
He was not going to be denied there. Coming over was Milmo.
Bradshaw Christian's going to bring the starting unit out on the field one more time just to take a knee. 10 seconds left. They better hurry it up. Actually, they're going to try a field goal.
for Lawson. They're going to run out of time. Are they going to take? There's a snap, and they aren't even going to get the kickoff. They tried to hustle Lawson out there for a field goal opportunity to see if they could get her one, but it does not matter. They don't get the punt off in time. Drew Rickert just got the Gatorade shower on the sideline. Bradshaw Christian is your winner, 62-6. The final score. They are your D6 titleists this year. Here in 2000. 5 seconds left. Clock winding down. Poway has won the title. 56-0 over the Vista Panthers. The championship goes to Poway.
Well, your double wing T option offense down by 5. They're going to have to spread it out. They go with 3 receivers to the near side. That's the short side. 1 solo left. Back to throw. McHugh under pressure. Rolls out of it. Now he's dumped and dropped. And that's the last thing they could handle. And that's not what they could do. Bellerman now can't stop the clock. 4, 3, and that is going to do it. Santa Margarita, coming back from the dead, has won the Division I.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Cott alongside Eric Walters, the PlayOn Sports Player of the Game. Eric, congratulations first off on a heck of a game. It seemed like you were doing it all over the field, really, especially even coming in for 2 two-point conversions. So it seemed like, but really the tale was your team's success on special teams.
Right.
Now, how important do you think that early lead was, especially going up against a school that has such a heavy run game?
You know what? I thought it was probably the most important part of the game. We worked so hard this week on working on our pooch kicks, and we know if we can get the good advantage, get it good going, we can have the momentum and hopefully pull out with the win like we just did.
Right. So you guys are currently ranked 98th in the state, if I remember correctly. Now, Pleasant Grove was ranked 67th, so we're going to expect to see you climbing up the numbers. Do you think perhaps a little underrated going into this game?
You know what? Actually, all week through school, everybody been telling us, you know what, that we probably wouldn't win this game, but we just went hard at practice, worked hard, played hard, and you know what? The hard work it shows on the field Friday night.
It showed definitely, like I said. So final score 42-28. Now we just mentioned off the air, you know, your quarterback / kicker / sometimes safety. It seemed like you guys were doing everything. Good relationship with Spencer on the other side.
Yeah. You know what? CJ's a young quarterback.
Right.
He should have been. Actually, he was a sophomore. He was going to play varsity last year, but he just growing. He's a pretty good quarterback. Next year, his senior year, you should expect way more.
Right.
Way more.
So we noticed a couple problems with your right ankle. However, it looked like you seemed really in control of it. We were really impressed by how you kept coming back to the field.
Yeah.
So you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. It's football, though. You know, you take hits, get hit, you get hurt. You got to just get back up and keep going. It's part of the game.
Right. Well, congratulations to you again. Inderkum Tigers showing complete dominance here, 42-28. We'll be back with more postgame after this.
All right.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity, and they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack.
And welcome back to the postgame show, ladies and gentlemen. A great turnout here. The Inderkum Tigers really a level of dominance that as even our player of the game, Eric Walters, just said, it seemed like even this campus didn't anticipate such success. But however, the team played hard and really came out with a big W.
Yeah, definitely. Coming into this game, I bet everybody and their mom expected Pleasant Grove to win, and Inderkum had something else to prove about that. They came in, they showed a dominant first half, got a couple good plays on special teams, actually like 3 great plays on special teams that all led to touchdowns or at least points. Pleasant Grove tried to come back in the second half, but it was just a little too late. Too much damage already done by the Tigers, and the Tigers were able to hold on for the victory to go home with the win, 42-21.
So the Tigers are now undefeated on the season. It seems like I said, I believe that because of Pleasant Grove's more difficult schedule, I seem they possibly had a more generous, maybe more leniency on their ranking, while on the other end, Inderkum hadn't quite been challenged yet. However, they really showed that they're going to be flying through the rankings. Like I said, we're going to keep an eye on that one. Now, earlier I made the mistake of saying 97th. However, they were 92nd. So they defied their naysayers, really. And again, our player of the game was Eric Walters. And like he said, it seemed that they were practicing these short kicks, this strategy during practice. However, a lot of other teams are going to be watching the film. This is the kind of success. It'd be strange to see if they could pull it off again.
Yeah, I agree. The Inderkum Tigers are going to go in next week to play the Rockland, or go into Rockland and see if they can't beat them, while the Pleasant Grove Eagles are going to go into Roseville and see what they can do there. Both should be pretty solid games, also right down the street from each other, too, so maybe a little after-game party for these two teams after that. But overall, a great game by the Tigers. Eagles decided to join the game a little too late, couldn't quite get all the way back. Still both solid football teams on both sides of the ball for both schools. I wouldn't be surprised if we see either one of these teams or both of them in the playoffs.
Yeah, so both of these teams showing a lot of dominance. And like we said, Pleasant Grove's schedule coming up, going up against Roseville, Sheldon, Ponderosa, Jesuit, Oak Ridge, and Folsom, they have plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They're going up against other dominant teams in the area. Like you said, great playoff potential, because really they didn't play a bad game. It just, maybe even say that they were outcoached.
Yeah, I'd say if you take those 3 special team plays out, the game is a whole lot closer.
So I think that's going to do it for our post game. Alongside Jason Patterson, I'd also like to thank Will McCombs, who is holding down the fort for the production, and of course Tim King doing the camera work just outside the booth. Much thanks to them. Without them, we do not get onto your computer screen. This is the Play On Sports broadcast, again closing out from David Tooker Stadium here in Sacramento, California. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.